Show, weekdays noon to 2, right here on 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. The Milwaukee Bucks, for the first time since October, have won back-to-back games. After beating the Bulls on Saturday night, the Bucks go to Charlotte and notch a 123-113 victory over the Hornets last night. The Bucks return to Fiserv Forum Wednesday night, New Year's Eve, hosting the Washington Wizards. Tip time at 7 o'clock. Listen to it right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. College basketball, the Wisconsin women fall 97-59 on the road against undefeated 7th-ranked Maryland yesterday afternoon. Meanwhile, the men's college basketball teams in action tonight. Wisconsin at the Kohl Center hosting the Milwaukee Panthers. 6 o'clock tip on the Big Ten Network. Marquette hosts Seton Hall in Big Ten play. Golden Eagles are 5-8 this season. Listen to the call with Homer on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. And of course, the Green Bay Packers getting set for their Week 18 showdown with the Minnesota Vikings. Evan Cohen, Bryan, Bulaga, and cousin sub of the day, Gabe Knights, will help you get set for it next on Wildy and Tausch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
It is the Tuesday edition. The Tausch winter sabbatical? I guess we're all kind of sabbaticaling for a couple days anyway. Edition. The hour 3 of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Without Jen or Chewy, so who does that leave? Edition. And the scheduled to appear, at least according to Chew, the new coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Evan Cohen, and Bryan Bulaga, edition of Wildy and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, and, of course, everything you need. In addition to video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube on the ESPN Wisconsin app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from his very much disclosed location, the Gruber Lofts' One Call That's All studios, he is the Good Karma Brands Hall of Famer. He is Gabe Neitzel, our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Gabriel, good morning.
Good morning, Jason. So with your open, and I know you guys talk about this from time to time, you were talking about it yesterday. I just want to let you know that my godson, my sister's youngest child, who is 4, his name is Mark. So there are some young Marks running around out there.
Okay, now in fairness, though, why did your sister name your godson Mark, and did she consider Keith?
I don't think she considered Keith, no, but named him after my dad, whose name is also Mark.
and he is also her dad.
Correct. Yes.
So I love it. Mark is making a comeback, clearly, which is exciting.
Yeah, very, very much so, yes. So there was a little Marky running around at the Neitzel family Christmas.
Have you heard of any children in, say, Little Mark's preschool or elsewhere, either named Jason, which is a 1970s name, obviously, or Gabe? How are the Gabes doing? Gabe Kapler, Gabe Kaplan, Gabe Neitzel, Gabe. I'm struggling to come up with another Gabe. Sorry.
Gross?
No, it's fine. Yeah, Gabe Gross. Yeah, sure, certainly.
Who's Gabe Gross?
Yeah, baseball player.
Yeah.
Left-handed. He was a left-handed hitter in the 2000s.
Auburn quarterback turned Brewers outfielder, Gabe Gross.
Good one.
Thank you. Us baseball guys, Gabe and I,
but
we got that
I feel like Gabe is one of those names that I feel has always, like, there's never been like a ton of Gabes. Like, I feel it's still a pretty rare name.
There's never a golden age
like
of
Gabriel's
Gabes,
floating
is
around.
what you're saying? No
I don't
golden
think
age
so.
of Gabes? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty
I don't think I've ever known another Gabe. Like, I don't think I've ever known another Gabe or, like, ever put another Gabe's, like, number in my phone.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Now I'm going to start a text message and see if Gabe Neitzel is the only Gabe I have in my phone.
I mean, the one Packers related Gabe, I tend not to bring him up because he doesn't bring up great memories for people.
Gabe Wilkins?
Yeah, that's not a good one, Jason.
It gets Chewy all fired up.
Sat out Super Bowl. Yeah, well, he sat out Super Bowl 32 because he was looking to get paid.
Protecting his investment. Yep. Yeah, Gabe's the only one. You're the only one. You're my one and only Gabe. Gabe. I also don't have Liam Cohen's cell phone number. I do have Evan Cohen's. If you missed Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. All season long, he's been leading the Jacksonville Jaguars to the postseason, and we were unaware of it. So Chewy missed on that, but. We had some really good conversations today that I would like to carry over from your program, since you're basically doing. Are you filling in for Rich Eisen too, or no?
No, but I will be on Freddie and Harry from 2 until 4. If you want to check that out later today on the ESPN app.
All right, so
Wow.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy 7 to 9. Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon.
Correct.
What do you just call Harry and Freddie, even though will there be Harry or Freddie with you?
No, I will be playing the role. I assume I'm playing the role of Freddie, but Matt Jones from Kentucky Sports Radio does Matt and Myron on Sundays on ESPN Radio. We will be doing that show this afternoon, leading into bowl coverage on ESPN Radio.
Okay, so that'll be you'll be done with that. Is there a Marquette game or something? What else do you have on your docket tonight?
There is a Marquette game tonight, so we'll have Marquette pregame starting at 5:30 right here on 94.5 ESPN.
Do you, when you have a day like this, which, by the way, I just want to state for the record, I told you this both at Green Bay game day on Saturday, and I told Jesse this as well. We would have made do without you if you would have liked to have had 3 hours where you didn't have to talk. But you being you, there's no stopping you. You're the show is the immovable object, obviously. I mean, we've got some pretty good heft here in terms of the primary characters. You're the unstoppable
A couple of years
force.
behind the show, sure.
Yeah. So you're
Look, I mean, people are taking off, but we got shows to do, Jason. You guys, I was so happy that you guys did a show last Friday. We did not on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, but you guys did a show because, look, it is the holiday season, and a lot of people are taking off, certainly, but there's still Packers to talk about. This is a huge part of the NFL season, and we got to make sure we're there for our fans.
We do, and we owe it all to Jesse, because Jesse chose to work. Tausch and I had decided to. But if Jesse says no, sorry, I'm going to be celebrating Christmas with my parents because they were sick when I was supposed to see them. We wouldn't have been able to do it. So thank you, Jesse, for your service.
Well, look, I mean, I mean, look, Jesse, I know you guys give him a hard time constantly. Jesse's got a long day today, too. He's going to be with Benny Brust on KBN later today.
I was going to ask you, Gabe, do you want to do the show with Brust? Because I don't know how that's going to go for him and I working together this afternoon.
Yeah, no, look, when I saw that on the schedule, Jesse, did I think it was an interesting pairing? Of course I did. So I'm very intrigued to see how that goes for the both of you.
Interesting would be a euphemism for what exactly there?
Well, I mean, KBN and even the show in spirit before that, Scalzo and Brust, they've been known to give Jesse a hard time, right? Like they're the ones who gave him the nickname or the moniker of the Hall Monitor. So the fact that Jesse and Ben are doing a show together for 3 hours, I find that interesting. I think it's going to be worth listening to.
I'm sure it will be. I am not scheduled to appear on that program. I appear on that program on Mondays. So I will. I'll have to choose between Freddie and Harry with Matt and Gabe, or KBN with B and the N changing to Nelson. So I will. I'll figure out my programming decisions later on. Gabe, did you watch Monday Night Football last night?
I did. I did tune into Monday Night Football last night. Terrible performance from the Rams. Matthew Stafford probably cost himself an MVP.
You think Drake May is going to win now, or you think it'll be Malik Willis?
I do. I believe over at Potawatomi Casino. I don't think Malik odds are out, so maybe that changes. But I think it's minus 500 now for Drake May.
He's the fave. Look, I just saw from our old teammate and incredibly successful ESPN reporter Sarah Barshop, who is basically the Rob Domofsky of the Rams beat, that Sean McVay made it very clear that his guys are playing. Now, they do have still something to play for, right? They can still get out of that 5 or 6.
No, I think they're locked into 6. I think they're locked into 6 now.
So now that becomes the question of whether they play the Bears or whether they play the Eagles, and that is undecided because we don't know who the 2 or the 3 will be. That obviously affects the Packers as well. They will either go to Chicago as the 7 seed or go to Philadelphia, and whoever they don't go to is who the Rams will go to. I was wrong. They can get to the 5. If they beat the Cardinals and the Seahawks beat the Niners, then the Niners would be the 6. If LA loses or San Francisco wins, they are locked into the 5. So they are going to be the 6. So they can move up to the 5, which is where you want to be. If you're a wild card team, you want to be in that 5 because that means you get either Carolina or Tampa Bay. Yep, who very well may win the division with a losing record. If Tampa wins that last game of the season, right? They will be 8-9 to win the division. So, yes, that would be a favorable matchup. You would like to avoid certainly the defending champs and Chicago. Did it change your opinion of the Rams? Because I went into yesterday believing that the team that I did not, if I'm the Packers, that I wanted to avoid was the Rams. After watching that, now I'm not so sure. And I wonder if there is a version of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy at our ESPN LA station and a Wilde and Tausch version at our ESPN LA station having the same conversation about their team all of a sudden like we have had about the Packers, right? They have not gone in the right direction of late either. So is that just welcome to the topsy-turvy NFC, or is that signs that no one is really that good? What does that tell you?
For me, it makes me not believe in the Rams as much. I went into last night's game thinking they were the most complete team in the NFC. Because of, I like what they do defensively. Matthew Stafford makes me trust their offense more than I trust Sam Darnold out in Seattle. But the Rams have been terrible on the road. They're 5-4 on the road. And now they have to be on the road. Maybe they, in some sort of wild scenario, they can host an NFC championship game. But if they have to go on the road for 3 games, they have proven they're not going to win 3 games in a row.
Yeah, you're right.
But so that makes me not believe in the Rams.
I find myself wondering if we are myopic because we had a good conversation, you and Jen and Chewy and I this morning, about the Packers and what are you thinking if you're at policy? And I told you not to ask me that anymore. Like I'm wondering if we are so focused on their faults that, and you're the national guy, Gabe Knight. Are we so focused on the Packers' failings and faults that we have been less than informed on the fact that everybody in the NFC is pretty flawed? There are no complete teams, it would appear. We'll find out in the coming weeks in the postseason, but is that possible, that we just have been fixated on the team that we focus on and their faults more than recognizing the other teams?
I think that happens just about every year, Jason. Before the Eagles game, I jumped on a station in Philadelphia and joined their show. And their host and I just kind of went back and forth about the flaws of the teams that we most pay attention to. I don't know if it made us feel better about anybody heading into that game, and then they played a 10-7 game, which made nobody feel good. But I think that happens every year. We focus on those flaws of the team we cover the most close. But there's no really good team in the NFL, period, this year. Like I even feel more confused about the AFC than I do about the NFC right now. But to the credit of Tausch, the one point, and I know he said yesterday he might back off of this, but I think that getting that number 1 seed is incredibly critical, because if you're an imperfect team, you want those flaws to be exposed as few times as possible. And that's what that number 1 seed does. It allows you to jump over the wild card round, where literally, I don't think you would be shocked at any outcome unless it ends up being the Rams in the 5 spot and, the Buccaneers beat them. I think that would be surprising. But if the Rams go into Philadelphia and win, would you be shocked? No. If the Packers go into Chicago and win, I don't think anybody would be shocked by that outcome, given how that game played out 2 weeks ago and the Packers were dominating and the Bears hadn't scored a touchdown with 2 minutes left in the game. So I look at it as, okay, yeah, anything can happen in that wild card round, but because you're a flawed team with the Packers, I don't think you can just any given Sunday your way through a postseason. Like, at some point, the inconsistencies are going to pop up in a 3-game run trying to get to the Super Bowl. And that's where having that number 1 seed, whether it ends up being Seattle or San Francisco, is going to be a huge boost. Because those teams, for Seattle, their flaws, their quarterback. You don't know if you can trust him in big games. For the Niners, it was on display on Sunday night. That defense is awful. But the offense is really good. But I think as we learned in 2011, it's really hard to win once you get to the postseason when your defense is as leaky as the Niners is.
Right. And in fairness to them, if they have Bosa and they have Fred, as Tausch would call him, Varner, they're probably not as leaky. They probably have a pass rush.
Correct.
Right? And if the Packers have
18 sacks this year. Woof.
Right. And if the what are the Packers sack numbers without Micah Parsons?
Okay. All right, I'll look that up.
It's
going to make me sad. The number's going to make me very sad, Jason. Just know that you're going to have to deal with a sad me for the next 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Really why I'm here. That's kind of what I aim to do. Usually it's Strofe, though, that I'm making sad. So my point is that these teams that are flawed, they are also missing key pieces. And I understand everybody is. I still think, and ifs and buts, candy nuts, et cetera, I still think the Packers, with Micah Parsons and with Tucker Kraft, are a Super Bowl favorite. I think their flaws have become much more visible, largely because they are missing their 2 brightest stars that don't play quarterback. And that's not an excuse. I think
21
that's just
and a half
reality.
Sacks.
Yeah, so
21 and a half sacks without Micah.
Not much better. But hey, maybe Rashan Gary will get his 2.5 sacks on Max Brosmer, and he'll get to 10 after going 9 consecutive games without a sack. We will get into that. I also want to get into the story that I wrote on channel3000.com about Kingsley Enigbare's comments to the team after the game. I found this extremely interesting. We also have dueling poll questions that we need to check on the results of from yesterday. All of those things with Gabe Neitzel as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. He's in for Tausch, who's going to tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin before we return.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Celebrate the season of Audi at Audi Madison. Take advantage of 1.99% APR for 72 months when you purchase a 2025 Audi Q5 Quattro. National customer credit is good towards the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but only available until January 5th. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Ho, ho, ho! Hey, it's Jim Rutledge, and if you're like me, you want to look good, feel good, and still enjoy life. That's why I go to Carbon World Health. Whether it's recovery after a long week, boosting energy, or getting your fitness dialed in, Dr. Nestor Rodriguez and his team have you covered. And now, they've got a new med spa in Sun Prairie that has everything you need to look as good as you feel. Carbon World Health isn't just a gym, it's a total wellness experience. Visit carbonworldhealth.com to learn more.
Steady. Ah, I hit my thumb.
What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Did you swear that you'd get that house project done ages ago and now it's causing you real pain? From leaky faucets to light fixtures, let our handyman team at Bruner Realty fix it all. Fast, friendly, and without the agony. We take care of it so you don't have to. Visit fixedbybruner.com. That's fixedbybruner.com.
The holidays are full of moments worth saving. Family dinners, cozy nights, holiday parties that last all night. And Carbless makes every one of them better. Crisp, refreshing, and full of flavor, 0 sugars, 0 carbs, and only 100 calories and gluten-free. Carbless is the gift that keeps on giving. A guilt-free cocktail that never compromises on taste, turning every sip into a little celebration. This season, bring bliss to every holiday moment with Carbless. Full of flavor, no compromise.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Gabe Neitzel is in as our cousin sub of the day. Jacksonville Jaguars coach Evan Cohen scheduled to appear coming up. I was surprised, Gabe, that this was not a bigger story. And maybe I don't think I'm being dramatic. But after the game, Lucas Van Ness said, and he made sure that he underscored the fact that Kingsley Enagbare brings it every single game. And I think you and I can agree on that, right? Like, he may not be as talented as Micah Parsons. He may not be as productive, but he doesn't cheat you on his snaps. Fair?
I think that's very fair.
Also played the most snaps of any defensive lineman, so he was not a high snap count guy in that game. He played 60 of their 76 snaps. So after the game, per Lucas Van Ness, and not disputed in any way by Matt LaFleur, basically Kingsley Enagbare called guys out. Every time you step on the field, you know what 5-5 is going to give you. He's going to give you his all. He shared a little bit of that sentiment after the game, that you've got to leave it all on the field. He felt like some people didn't. I don't know about you, but I appreciate Lucas Van Ness for telling us this, because, as we all know, they don't show post-game speeches from losing locker rooms on the team website.
Nope.
This is, and I know that if you are a critic of Matt LaFleur, you will use this as he's not doing his job getting guys up for games. I personally would say that these guys are professionals. My expectation is they shouldn't need that. And by the way, is this a sign of some immaturity from certain players, or whatever it might be, that this is an issue? We'll get into Rashan Gary later in today's show. But Gabe, my question for you is, when he feels compelled to do that, and I'm not saying he's right or wrong, because I don't know well enough to know if there were guys not putting forth sufficient effort. But when this comes to light, what should Packers fans think?
Well, I tend to think it is right if he's doing that, because Evan Williams kind of hinted at the same thing. He was one of three guys who spoke after the game, and Williams kind of hinted at the same thing. This is concerning to me because last year at the end of the season, after they ended on a 3-game losing streak, Tucker Kraft basically said the same thing. Mm-hmm. That they needed to weed out some of the guys that weren't putting forth efforts. And now it makes me wonder, Jason, if there's a larger issue, and this is something that Chewy talked about all the time, in their early days in Green Bay, when Ron Wolf and Holmgren are just taking over, and Chew and Brett and all those guys are young pups. Like, there were guys that, Ron Wolf would cut guys to make an example out of. Right? Like, hey, you're not putting the right effort. We're trying to change the culture around here. Now, they're not in a similar spot where, again, we're in year 3 of Jordan Love being the starter, year 7 of Matt LaFleur and Bryan Gutekunst operating together. But I wonder if that is an immaturity thing. If, they had the same issue last year and it didn't get corrected. I don't know who I placed the blame on, but if I'm Ed Policy and I hear that and I've got some decisions to make, yet while I agree with you that that is something that I think should be on the players because you are professionals, but if that's something that you have to learn as you're young and you go and you don't have the veteran leaders to show you the way on that, I think that can be held as a negative against both Bryan Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur. I think that can be held against them. If you're trying to make the decision, hey, they've got 1 year left on these guys' deal, do I keep them around? Now, again, ultimately I think both should stick around, but I don't know what Ed Policy is thinking. And we talked a little bit about this, Jason, on our show today as well, where all the criticism seems to be lobbed more towards Matt LaFleur, and I think there's plenty of criticism that can go Bryan Gutekunst's way as well. And I would attach those two at the hip. If I'm getting rid of one, I'm probably going to get rid of both and clean house. Again, I think both should keep their jobs. I think both should stay the course and be given at least another season to see if they can, right the ship and take that step forward next year. The problem being their current status on their respective contracts. But if we're talking about, hey, guys aren't given the right effort, and it's back-to-back seasons, we're talking about that at the end of the season, Jason, when these games are the ones that mean the most. Because, yeah, it ended up not being good, but the Packers still would have had they found a way to stop Derrick Henry, we'd be talking about, hey, they still got a chance at the division this weekend. We're not talking about who are they going to rest. Are they going to rest guys? We know they're playing their guys, and we're rooting for the Detroit Lions because you still got a shot at the division.
Right, and the Detroit Lions under Dan Campbell have shown that when they have nothing to play for, they don't play like they have nothing to play for. So, I understand things have spiraled, right? They've lost 3 in a row. As you and I and Chewy and Jen talked about this morning, they're human beings who lost their superstar to a clear – everyone in the building knew that was an ACL tear from the moment he grabbed his knee. There is no way that does not affect you emotionally as a football player, as much as you want to be a cyborg. Just like your number one wide receiver, which is what I believe Christian Watson is, leaving the stadium to go to a Denver area hospital in an ambulance. Like, that affects you. So it's not excuse making. They played a team that had won 10 in a row, and they were right there for most of the game until that bad stuff happened. Obviously, the Bears game falls apart in the end when they seem to be in complete control. And you have flashbacks to the 2014 NFC Championship game because it took you screwing up 5 different things, and you managed to screw them all up. And then, obviously, there's no excuse for how they defended, despite him being a Pro Football Hall of Fame running back. The fact that there were alignment and assignment errors on defense is inexcusable. Does that also mean that Jeff Hafley suddenly sucks as a defensive coordinator, that his guys didn't do what they were supposed to do? So I understand why they lost.
That's always the funny part to me, Jason, is like Jeff Hafley's the fan base really loves Jeff Hafley. I really love Jeff Hafley.
Yeah, me
but
too.
He kind of escapes, and it's the same thing with Brian Gutekunst. After he trades for Micah Parsons, the fan base is just enamored with him, so he escapes criticism. Like, guys lining up wrongly on defense, that would fall more on Jeff Hafley, but I guarantee you more people looked at that as a criticism of Matt LaFleur than Jeff Hafley, who's responsible for the defense.
It's all because of Matt LaFleur's eyebrows. We need to get to Jaguars coach Evan Cohen. For those of you that did not catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, we're giving Chewy a little bit of a hard time because he meant Liam Cohen. Duval. And he said Evan instead. But Evan is going to join us coming up next from Unsportsmanlike. Want to remind you, Associated Bank has the best customer service in the industry. I've been telling you about that now for nearly a decade, and we experience it ourselves all the time. Paula, the girls, and I, they have been great for us, but that's what they do. They're great for everybody. It's not just for us. Whether it's early pay, so you have access to your direct deposit from your employer up to 2 days early, whether it's credit monitoring, so we knew that our credit was where it needed to be so we could buy our new Steinhafels living room set, or if it's fraud protection, and I needed that fraud protection when someone got my identity. Not sure who wanted to be me, but they wanted my money, and they made sure at Associated Bank that they didn't get it. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Imagine the peace of mind knowing your home or business is safe 24/7. I'm Jeffrey Beckman, president of J&K Security Solutions, and we provide security you can trust. Serving Madison and southern Wisconsin, J&K Security Solutions offers state-of-the-art home and business security systems tailored to your needs. From video surveillance to home and business automation, to find out how J&K Security can help secure what matters most in your life, visit jksecurity.com.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 12/31/2025.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over. But on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going. Lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Introducing the region's very first $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Feel the thrill, chase the excitement, and win big. With jackpots soaring to $1 million, your chance to hit it big is here. Come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Donate at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Tennessee faces Illinois in the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl. Then it's USC-TCU in the Valero Alamo Bowl. It's bowl season, and it continues today on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
If you pick the right guy, Evan Cohen in Jacksonville. Crap. Turn them around. I'm so tired of spinning wheels, and I think there's a portion of the fan base that are with me.
Joining us now. I'm not even sure he knew he was the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but man, they're having a hell of a season. He should be in the conversation for Coach of the Year from Unsportsmanlike, live from Jaguars headquarters. It is Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Wow, I did not know that Chewy said that, Jason. And also, to be fair, Liam spells his name differently than I do.
He does indeed.
C-O-E-N, and I am C-O-H-E-N. So
Can
there you go.
Can you do a Duval, though?
No, not like he can. No, not like he can. You know, I had another thought about Coach of the Year. I don't know what made me think of this today. Should Kellen Moore be in the mix for Coach of the Year? If they win on Sunday, the Saints at 7-10 is a miracle. I feel like Kellen Moore, New Orleans Saints, which no one cares about in Wisconsin, so why am I bringing that up? But I feel like he should be Coach of the Year consideration. Gabe, you've been great so far this conversation.
He's got to rest his voice.
Thank you. That's
He's
you know,
doing
I do my
14
best.
hours of radio.
Yeah, he should be doing 15. Anyway, what's going on, guys?
So, Evan, Gabe and I were just discussing this, and we are both of the same mind. We are not advocating for either the coach or the general manager to be fired. Even if they lose this meaningless game on Sunday in Minnesota, I personally think they're going to go to Chicago and win, but let's say they don't in the playoffs, or they go to Philadelphia and get beat, whatever ends up happening. You know, it feels to me like the fan base is very anti-LaFleur and that Goody gets a pass, and Gabe is on the same team. You, much like your frenemy, Tausch on this program, you guys are big Goody guys. And it just feels like, from a lot of misses in the draft to paying Rashan Gary to worthwhile questions about whether being this young all the time leads to immature behavior and questionable effort from some young players, which is an issue based on what happened on Saturday night, that he gets a pass. Are we wrong to feel that way?
Well, okay, so I don't think he gets a pass, because I think if you're thinking about the complete body of work, which when you're talking about job security, you have to think about the complete body of work, no? I mean, that's what you're talking about with LaFleur.
Sure.
LaFleur is not just this year. LaFleur is the multiple 7 seeds, right? And that's what you're thinking of over the course of time. So if you're going to do the complete body of work, in what world does Goody get a pass? Because he got annihilated around the Aaron Rodgers situation, including by you, Jason, and by Craig on Sundays and on Sunday Karma and others. Like, he was very much in the crosshairs of Packers fans and media. So I think the idea of Goody getting a pass is crazy because of the fact that you're then not looking at the complete body of work. Let's look at what Goody has done, because you're right, I am a defender. Has he brought in a franchise quarterback?
Yes. Apparently
Has
two
he
of them, actually.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, yeah, Malik Willis is pretty damn good, if that's who you're referring to.
Yeah, that's. There are people who think there should be a controversy there.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I was thinking about whether or not he could be a starting quarterback for some team next year as we don't know. Like, I'm in Miami right now. If I walk out of where I am, my brother-in-law is a huge Dolphins fan. If I say to him, I'll give you the option of Malik Willis next year for a year, and you could try him out, I guarantee you say, I'll take that in 2 seconds over Tua, right? Like, so there's just an example right there. Okay, so has Goody brought in a franchise quarterback? The answer is yes. So already, you've done your job. Like, literally nothing else matters in this sport, as we've seen. And you could argue, and I know Gabe watches the All-22, and Jason, you're talking to the backup special teamers, but come on. For most fans, nothing else matters but a franchise quarterback. So check. Has he brought in, arguably, a top 2 to 3 defensive player in the sport? Okay? Does he have good young players littered throughout the roster?
Yes.
So what more would you like that man to do? I think LaFleur is the one. If we're going to make changes with the Green Bay Packers, hypothetically, if it's a one and done in the postseason, if you want to make changes, the head coach, to me, would be the issue more than the general manager. Because think about it this way.
So you're maintaining that not drafting a Pro Bowler since 2019, that's on LaFleur?
Well, there's player
They haven't had a
development.
Pro Bowl
Gabe.
player that Goody drafted outside of the 2019 draft. That's
Do
the
they have a
last time
franchise
he
quarterback?
drafted somebody who was selected to a Pro Bowl.
Do they have a franchise quarterback?
They do.
They do, but lots of teams with
But
franchise
as we've
quarterbacks
seen,
don't win titles.
But as we've seen this year, you need more than a franchise quarterback. Chiefs, franchise quarterback, and I know Mahomes is hurt now, but they got eliminated. They were eliminated before he got hurt. The Baltimore Ravens are on the doorstep of getting eliminated.
But Lamar hasn't been healthy, nor has he played every game. But I think what you guys really need to do is take one step back and ask yourself the question that I'm asking, whether or not the answer is continuously and consistency, yes. and I say, do you have a franchise quarterback? Not are you paying one. Do you have one? Right? We know they're paying one to be that. Right? And if you think the answer is no, that Jordan Love is not that guy, then the Goody question is back on the table. But if I'm going to make one change after the season, if I am forced to make a change after the season, definitively for me it would be head coach over general manager. And I also will go one step further. I personally believe, that no head coach would be turned off by coming to the Green Bay Packers because Goody is there. Like, we started this talking about Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen initially said no to the Jaguars because of their general manager that was there in Trent Baalke. They made the decision to make that move to get rid of him, and they bring in Gladstone from the Rams, and then Liam Cohen's like, okay, I'll come there. So whoever you think is the hottest candidate, which may just be their defensive coordinator, but whoever you believe is the hottest candidate out there, that person, I don't believe, will be turned off by working with Goody. In fact, I think that person would be excited to work with Goody, knowing there's enough there that he has done in terms of the draft that a great coach, a coach that believes in themselves, could get more out of those players than the current coaches.
Talking with Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. So I want to circle back to the third.
Can I flip the table on you for a second?
Absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you guys were forced to make one major move after the season, if it is one and done, what is the major move?
I am requiring Matt LaFleur to change offensive coordinator and special teams coordinator. I think they need some new ideas, and it pains me to say that because I am a huge Steno guy, and I think he's a very good coach. I think he probably, he was up for a couple of head coaching jobs. He was up for a couple of play calling offensive coordinator jobs. I think that's probably I think LaFleur probably needs someone who will challenge him with different ideas and have more outside of the system ideas for him. And I think that the special teams, as much as Rich Bisaccia means to their culture and means to Matt LaFleur as a consigliere, if I'm forced to make decisions that are a step shy of changing the head coach or the general manager, that is what I would do. I'm not saying they should do either of those, but I could see them saying, hey, we're not going to make a change, but we need to shake things up. That's what I can see. Now, the question... Go ahead, Gabe.
Is that far enough, or are we talking you have to let go of either Goody or LaFleur?
Well, Jason took an easy way out, but he had answers, so I didn't go crazy on it. But well, Gabe asked the right follow-up. Gabe, so as
Fire
Bisaccia.
Wow, radical move there, Jason.
So, Gabe, then I'm not going to give you an easy way out. I never have, and I never will. So, Gabe, you have to make a radical move at the end of the year like I was asked to just do, and I said I would go coach over general manager.
You asked yourself to do it. You can't – don't put that on me.
Well, good question and good answer, Liam.
Sometimes you have to ask yourself the tough questions.
That's right.
I would, if it was up to me, I would attach these two at the hip, and if I got rid of one, I would get rid of both. But if I had to pick just one, I would probably go LaFleur just because I want the Packers to go back to the way things were. Just based on some of the things Rob Demovsky has said, I think that Ed Policy eventually wants to go back to the general manager running things, and Policy doesn't have say over who the head coach is. And we've seen that if a general manager has to just inherit a coach, usually that coach is going to get fired, and it just kind of you end up in a middling, wasted season anyway. So if you had to pick one, I guess I would pick LaFleur just because I would want to see the Packers get back to general manager picks the coach, and then you have that way the way it was back in the 90s with Ron Wolf.
So, Gabe, I know you've thought about it. Let's just spin it positively for LaFleur. Let's say LaFleur wins the lottery and says, I'm moving with my family to Hawaii. I'm out. I don't need this stress anymore. Peace out. So we're not firing him, but there's an opening. Who are you hiring?
See, so that's the thing. I was going through the list of, because I still want an offensive play caller. I know so much of the fan base would go, oh, you go get Jeff Hafley. But Jordan Love is still at a point in his career where I don't want to be cycling through offensive coordinators. Because if you have a good offense and a coordinator that isn't your head coach, chances are they're going to be looked at to be the next head coach. The way that were, Evan, before you took the job with Jacksonville.
Right. On a side note to that, it's why I'm so excited about my team, the New England Patriots, long term. They hired an unhireable offensive coordinator, and he's the best offensive coordinator of my lifetime in Josh McDaniels. There's literally, of the last 30 years, there's never been a better offensive coordinator than Josh McDaniels, and he's unhireable as a head coach. It is perfect. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, but there's just no name as an offensive play caller this year that isn't a head coach that excites me.
Kevin Stefanski?
If Stefanski gets fired, I would be interested in Kevin Stefanski. Absolutely.
So right now, if you could have Kevin Stefanski or Matt LaFleur next 5 years, you have to make a decision today. Who are you choosing?
Matt LaFleur.
Okay.
I would take Matt LaFleur.
What about Mike McDaniel?
Oh yeah, I would take Matt LaFleur. I think Mike McDaniel's going to eventually end up in the same situation.
Would you take Mike McDaniel as your OC?
For Jeff Hafley as the head coach, or from
no? In
Matt
your
LaFleur
scenario, they're firing.
Yeah,
Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, I would, and those guys have a lot of history together, and I think he would give him some new ideas, even though they come from the same tree. Yes, I would do that. Would I hire Mike McDaniel if he got fired by the Dolphins and the Packers moved on from Matt LaFleur? I'm not sure I would. I'm not sure what to think of him and what his track record is.
Here's the problem with everything we're doing right now. Everything we're doing right now is completely 1,000% fair to do as we head into Week 18 of the NFL season, which will see the Green Bay Packers make the playoffs yet again, not as a high seed, and potentially have an early exit. Potentially. Now, maybe they make a run like, Rodgers and company in 10, but potentially. This has been, because of injury or not, a colossal failure of a season if that happens.
Yeah. Look, 3 weeks ago, I still thought that they were they'd won 4 in a row, and they were a legit contender to go to the Super Bowl. I didn't think they would, but you could certainly convince me. And then they lost Micah Parsons. And I understand that the 49ers lost Bosa and Warner. I understand all that. I don't think they're as bad as they feel right now. And if they beat the Bears in Chicago, if that ends up being their playoff path, and then they lose a back-and-forth divisional game, I understand it's a results-based business. I don't think that kind of a path is fireable for anybody. Now, if they lose a first-round playoff game and look bad doing it, I am certainly aware of what the realities are. I want to go back to one thing, though, that you said about the roster, because we went through the 18, 19, and 20 drafts, which the only person who's left is Love. They play so many young guys, and we do see good moments from them, that I find myself wondering if I think players are better than they actually are. Okay, so good young players, right? They got they stocked the roster with good young players. The 2021 draft, the only guy left from that draft is McDuffie. So from the first 4 drafts, Goody has 2 players left. The 2022 draft...
Well, he will have 2 players left next year, because we're assuming they're going to move on from Rashan Gary and LPJ.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Important correction. The 2022 draft, tell me how many of these guys are good young players. Quay Walker. I'm not sure what Quay Walker is. I
have no idea. I'm not going to pretend like I do.
Right. I have been I would like you to play along, Liam, but really I'm looking for Gabe's opinion.
Oh, good. Glad I'm here.
Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Christian Watson, Sean Ryan, Romeo Doubs, Zach Tom. Zach Tom's the first one that I get to where I can say definitively he is good. I think Christian Watson is good. I think Quay Walker is on the fringe of good. Kingsley Enagbare, Rasheed Walker. Those are all the guys that are left from that class. 23. Is Lucas Van Ness a good player? Is Luke Musgrave?
I thought he was definitely hyped to be much better. That's for sure.
Jaden Reed, I think, is.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft, I know, is.
And not a great judge of a contest at the trio, judging a tie in a cooking contest.
Indeed, that was weak. I couldn't agree more.
That's very true. Very true.
Just pick a winner. My God, jeez.
Yeah, right?
Why was he there?
Pretty weak.
You should knock him for that more. I bring it up a lot, actually.
Is Jordan Morgan a good young player? I thought Edgerrin Cooper was for sure. But now I think
you know
he's...
what? Wait, stop there. Stop there for a second. What happened to that guy? I thought the whole thing when they got Micah Parsons, everybody was like, oh, well, Micah Parsons is great. But wait till you see Edgerrin Cooper. I think this is the first time I've heard his name since the wait till you see Edgerrin Cooper. Has he done anything? Maybe he has. I don't even know.
He has not had a lot of splash plays.
No, he's missed more tackles this year. Yeah, he's missed more tackles than he did last year.
But he was supposed to be the guy that everybody was like, oh, they found a star in that guy.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not.
And
I'm not saying
he did not progress.
I'm not saying the book is written on any of these guys yet. They're all still varying degrees of young. But that 2022 class, all those guys are hitting free agency other than Watson, who got a 1-year extension, and Tom, who got the full extension. That's it. That whole group, I guess Devontae Wyatt has the 5th-year option, but the rest of that group, they're all going to be free agents. And I don't know if they have the financial wherewithal to pay many of them. So my point is simply, look, maybe... Well, and LaFleur deserves criticism. I am not standing here carrying water for him and saying he is above that. All I'm saying is are we maybe also overvaluing a bunch of young players because they've played a lot? And maybe they're not as good as we assume they are because of how much they play. Maybe they play as much as they do because that's the way they've built the team.
Let me ask you a question. Or 2 questions here. First off, are we changing narratives based on, blaming others? In other words, how do we leave last season, going into this season, talking about how good Edgerrin Cooper is, and now saying that Goody didn't have a good draft pick? Why don't we say LaFleur didn't develop him?
Well, first of all, I'm not saying that we know what Edgerrin Cooper is. He's not what we thought he was after last season, though. And developmentally, look, again, Matt LaFleur is the head coach. The buck stops with him. But, and I am as guilty of this as anybody, we all have glazed Jeff Hafley to beat the band. But that player has not advanced to become a field-tilting player. They went and traded for one, and then they lost him, and now they're trying to figure out. They feel to me, Gabe, on defense, like they are still totally throwing stuff against the wall to figure out what they are without Micah Parsons. That's what it feels like to me. And I don't know if they're going to figure it out or not.
Okay, second thing, and I assume the answer is yes. My guess is yes, and I would even have a destination for him. If Matt LaFleur was fired on a Monday after a playoff game, is he hired on Tuesday by another team?
By Tennessee?
Yes.
That would be my thought, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, I think the Giants would be interested in LaFleur before they'd be interested in Hafley.
So what we have this hiring cycle, I think, are a bunch of coaches that I think could potentially be out in one spot on a Monday and in another spot on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Not these coaches that are, oh, my God, this guy's terrible. He's not going to get another job. For example, Stefanski, LaFleur, while I'm not firing him in our hypothetical, obviously, the 2 guys in the AFC North who are playing on Sunday night, and the Ravens and the Steelers, and Harbaugh and Tomlin, they would be scooped up in 2 seconds. I mean, that's 4 or 5 coaches right there that potentially may be out in one spot and in another spot. I'll throw one other one. Sean McDermott, to me, I don't understand why he has the job security he has in Buffalo. But this is the thing. LaFleur, it has nothing to do with him not being a good coach. It has to do with, for how many years in a row, us thinking, it should be a little bit better than this. There should be a little bit more than this. They should have gone a little bit deeper into the playoffs than this. Right? I mean, it's year after year. Is it not?
Yeah, 21 is the big blemish, right? They're the number one seed. They lose at home. They can't score a touchdown. Their special teams are atrocious. If they have a longer run there, let's say they make it to the NFC Championship game, he starts his career with 3 NFC Championship games. Now, again, that's great, but if you don't get to the big one, it's not nearly good enough. But that, I think, because then you make the transition to Jordan Love. You make the playoffs in his first year as the starter, which I would argue felt like an overachievement, especially based on how the first half of that season started. And then, obviously, last year they win a bunch of games, but not any against anybody good. And now you've seen where this season has gone. I understand every team has injuries.
Jason, based on that, if the Green Bay Packers had a single individual owner of the team and they lose in the first round of the playoffs, is Matt LaFleur the coach next year?
I mean, I guess it depends on what kind, like the patience that the
depends
Pittsburgh,
upon the owner, because
Right.
again, you look at what Pittsburgh and Baltimore and they do. Even Jerry Jones has had a ton of patience. Jason Garrett was the head coach there for how long?
You can't compare Pittsburgh and Baltimore because those guys won a Super Bowl. This guy has not gone to a Super Bowl.
Correct.
And you can't compare
again,
Dallas.
I think it depends upon the owner.
Compare Dallas, and see, this is the thing. I don't think you can compare Dallas because Jason Garrett played there. And when Mike McCarthy was the head coach, I wouldn't look at that as a ton of patience. Mike McCarthy was a dead man walking in that final year. For what reason? He won 12 games 3 years in a row. He was Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur for the Packers was Mike McCarthy in Dallas. But I don't know how McCarthy may have had more wins. So I don't know that those are necessarily fair comps. Because you're talking about
also,
owner patience.
Evan,
this guy has not gotten over the hump.
Yeah, but the Packers do have a president, and we just don't know Ed policy, right? Like if Matt LaFleur was in Cincinnati, he'd stay there because Mike Brown doesn't want to pay 2 coaches, right? Like that's just the MO. So it all depends upon the owner. This whole, if you've got an impatient owner who wants to completely just fire guys and keep churning over and being bad, a la the Raiders, then you keep doing that. But it all depends upon the owner, and they do have a guy who is in charge of that.
We don't know.
Correct.
We
do not.
But we know the quarterbacks he grew up around, and when you have Montana and Young, you're used to winning Super Bowls. And when you have Rodgers and Love, you should be used to winning Super Bowls, and that's not the case with this team.
So
Rodgers won a long time ago.
Quickly going back to Jordan Love, because you want to give credit, Evan, to Brian Gutekunst for drafting Jordan Love. Doesn't Matt LaFleur get credit for developing Jordan Love? Because the first time we saw Jordan Love play, he was so bad that I think it factored into the decision of Devontae Adams going, I don't want to be around here for this.
It definitely did. Mm-hmm.
That
It also led to Goody paying Rodgers again.
Correct.
Okay. So at some point, we all need I feel like we all want Jordan Love to be the franchise guy. And I feel like, yes, I give Goody a ton of credit for drafting a quarterback when he wanted one, not when he needed one. And I give LaFleur credit for the development. But the development to be what exactly? He's not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He's not going to likely be in the Super Bowl this year or the NFC Championship game. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this all changes. He's usually a guy that we say, he's better in the second half of the season. He comes on late, which means he's a seasonal quarterback. I mean, I'm sorry. I got to be fair. My appreciation for Love has taken a little bit of a hit, which then it should mean that maybe Goody didn't get the right guy or LaFleur hasn't developed. However you want to look at this. These are ridiculous conversations we're having because none of these should be happening, and they're all happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so what could happen in 2 weeks is we sit here and we look at the Goody era, and we look at the LaFleur era, and we look at Love and his contract, and we sit there and say, either they run it back with legit pressure for all three of, you better get to the NFC Championship game or beyond next year, or else, right? And then we start to say, well, maybe Micah injured, obviously. Micah just is never going to end up on great teams, unfortunately for him, right? And we know how great he's a Hall of Fame player. Like, all of these things are going to come into fruition if they lose early in the playoffs, and especially if they end up playing the Bears and they lose to the Bears. I mean, there are legit conversations that we're having that feel absurd as we're having them, and justified, and stunning that they even are in existence right now.
Yeah, and the bottom line, as I said to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, is that none of us really knows what Ed Policy is thinking. All I can say is that he grew up around the 49ers, and his dad fired Bill Walsh. Right? And if
won a Super Bowl with George Seifert.
Correct. Yes. And so if you're
when you say that fired Bill Walsh, it rightfully sounds unbelievably drastic. Period. Next sentence. And it worked.
Right.
For a year.
Exactly.
For a year.
Right.
Right.
So,
like Jerry Jones fired Tom Landry. Holy crap, he did that? Well, yeah, but then they won 3 Super Bowls, and he also fired Jimmy Johnson. And it worked after that.
Yep.
Not forever, but for the 1 year. And right now the Packers need to figure out this 1 year. For the Green Bay Packers, with the quarterback play they've had, it's been too long since they won a Super Bowl. You know, Gabe brought up the Steelers. The Steelers have not had the quarterback play, not even close, right? The pressure should be on the Green Bay Packers. There's too many years of assumed great quarterback play without an appearance in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's true. You're not wrong. I thought this was really productive. It was lacking the, certain je ne sais quoi that you and Tausch have when you're together.
Yeah, Gabe brings fun down, and so we've learned that between 7 and 9 every morning. Ouch. And then every other show. How many other shows are you doing today, for real, Gabe?
So I've got Freddie and Harry, myself and Matt Jones, and then we've got Marquette basketball tonight.
Oh, my God, you aren't kidding. He really is doing this. Jeez, Gabe.
Yep.
Gabe, we've talked about this. This is, oh, God, I'm going to have to call Gabe later now. This is a problem.
I'm hosting with Brust. My day is harder.
Oh, you're there?
What's up?
Are you like Alex Strofe and you're making demands as to who you can and can't host with? Is that what I heard?
If I was, I wouldn't be hosting with Brust this afternoon. I can tell you that much.
So I know Jason hates Brust. Does everyone else hate Brust?
Like everyone, yes.
I like Bunny. I'm a big fan of Benny.
I love Ben. So wait, people that don't like Ben Brust, it's Jason Wilde, Alex Strofe, Jesse Nelson. Who else?
Everyone. Except Gabe, apparently.
No, and me. I love Ben.
Okay, both of you. Yep.
Yeah.
Again, I did not love Ben when he came to camp in an Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey.
I don't think Bo Ryan likes him.
Bo Ryan definitely likes him.
I think that's well documented.
At his wedding.
That's fair. Huh?
Do you know that, Jason? That Ben sat me right next to Bo Ryan?
I did not. That's because he didn't invite Dick Bennett, I assume.
Well, that's one of the reasons, I guess.
I think that's funny that he sat you next to Bo Ryan. I think that's hilarious.
Did Bo think it was hilarious?
Bo was actually. You know what? By the end of the night, I was ready to run through a wall. I'm running the swing offense by the end of the night.
Evan, this was fun. We appreciate you. Thanks.
Not that fun, but okay. All
Good
right.
luck against Tennessee on Sunday.
Good luck. What?
Good luck at Tennessee on Sunday.
I don't even get what that means.
Liam Cohen.
Jacksonville's playing. Yeah. Jacksonville's playing like Tennessee. Come on,
I was very
keep up.
confused. I'm like, the Patriots have the Dolphins. What's the matter with you?
That's
you're
Mike
the head coach
Vrabel
of the Jaguars.
Unsportsmanlike. Evan Vrabel. We appreciate him joining us every week from Unsportsmanlike. Oh boy, I didn't realize what was coming up here. It's time for our Iron Jock contest.
Yeah. Last one of the year.
I, of course, am now put in the position where do I do an homage to the guy who usually tells you about Iron Jock and stick Jesse with a very large number for our caller, or do I do something nice? Well, let me think about that while I tell you that Tausch has worn just about every type of workout there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. I've got my Iron Jock gear as well. They've been great to us, and their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. And now, Iron Jock is introducing 4 new lightweight hoodies. These hoodies are world-class with cooling, wicking, and 4-way stretch. Go to ironjock.com to get your hoodie today. That's ironjock.com. But right now, you can win an Iron Jock tumbler if you are caller. We're going to talk about Rashan Gary. He's not a high snap count guy, but he would love a tumbler. So we're going to do caller 52 in honor of Rashan Gary. Caller 52 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 52 wins a free Iron Jock tumbler from Iron Jock. More with Gabe Neitzel as our cousin sub of the day. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, wishing you and your loved ones a happy holiday season from Grassland Dairy. Well, as you gather with friends and family to celebrate the season, remember that no holiday spread is complete without the pure and delicious taste of Grassland Butter on your table. For toast, pancakes, dinner rolls, and everything in between, Grassland Butter is the gift that keeps on giving. Grassland Dairy, again, extends a huge thank you to all of the hardworking dairy farmers across the state of Wisconsin. Without them producing such high-quality ingredients, Grassland would not be able to deliver that pure and delicious flavor on your table that we've all come to know and love. Thank you, farmers, and thank you, Wisconsin, from Grassland Dairy. Butter better with better butter. Since 1904, there's no better product and no better taste than Grassland Butter. Happy holidays from Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. More to the portal. Wisconsin quarterback Billy Edwards planning to enter the transfer portal per ESPN's Pete Thamel. Edwards, one of the several Badger starters expected to move on with the portal opening January 2nd. Understanding college football is in a new spot today, Barry Alvarez hoping one thing remains constant.
Let's get back to playing some football. Let's get back to recruiting guys who want to be there, want to be at Wisconsin, want to play good football. And man, we've taken a left turn someplace. Sometimes I get confused of what's more important.
Add windows and doors to your Christmas list with 0% interest for 24 months. If you're not getting windows from Santa, visit PellaWI.com today.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison is giving away $85,000 in cash this month in our double rollover jackpot. There will be 5 drawings every Tuesday and Friday throughout January. 10 winners every week. But you have to be here because if the winner isn't present, their prize rolls over to the next jackpot. Every Tuesday drawing is for $1,000 and Friday drawings are for $2,000. Then on Friday, January 30th, there are 5 $5,000 prizes. Don't let time tick away. Get to
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
The College Football Playoff Quarterfinals.
Let's go!
First on New Year's Eve, Miami faces Ohio State. Then on New Year's Day, it's Oregon versus Texas Tech.
Touchdown, Oregon!
Followed by Alabama, Indiana.
Touchdown! The Hoosiers take the lead!
Then Ole Miss faces Georgia. The College Football Playoff Quarterfinals on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold the lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Get yours today at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Thanks to Liam Cohen Duval for joining us. Gabe, you got a text message on the Carbless Talk and text line you wanted to get to in reaction to our conversation with Evan.
This coming from Jen in Wausau. Why is Engabare calling out guys? Why isn't Jordan Love? I feel like a lot of the issues stem from Love not being a leader and not knowing how to lead. When you hear that, Jason, what's your reaction? I mean, in the short term, I would say, well, Jordan wasn't playing in this particular game, so
sure.
I think it'd be tough for him. But I think there's some larger points about him not being a leader or not knowing how to lead.
Yeah, he has his leadership style is not in your face like Aaron Rodgers could be. Aaron Rodgers, for all the criticism he took, and some of it very much deserved. He did lead different guys in different ways. He did understand that, and I think people lose sight of that. They think of the arms going up and screaming at guys, and that's how they envision his leadership. That said, Jordan Love is definitely different that way. I would say that in this instance specifically, like, it's Kingsley Enagbare because there were guys half-assing it on defense. Like, I think if Jordan Love saw guys half-assing it on offense, I think he would probably have no problem saying something. That's what I would. Well, that's the feeling I get.
And I think of a conversation we had on Green Bay game day, Jason, where I made the comment of how I haven't necessarily been disappointed in Matthew Golden. I've been disappointed in the way he's been used. But you brought up something that the quarterback said about him, about how he's developed and that he's running better routes. He's running the right routes. You know, kind of hinting at, okay, maybe early the season he wasn't, but good on him for getting that right. And now he's more ready to be a more regular contributor to the offense. And, of course, now Jordan's been out for a game and a half, and Matthew Golden's production hasn't really stepped up. So we'll have to wait and see if that, suddenly factors into the postseason. But I think there are some of those. Again, I don't think that was a criticism of Matthew Golden. It was more praise. But again, the praise is also based in, hey, he wasn't ready earlier this season.
Right. It is criticism wrapped in praise, which I think is part of how he operates. So I think that's on brand. Just like winning for you if you've been injured is on brand for Gruber offices. They're the best in the business. 40 years they've been doing it. You don't pay for the consultation. You don't pay for the call. When they win your case, yes, then there's a cost. But until then, you need to have the right team on your team if you've been injured, and that is Gruber offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber offices. One call, that's all. We've got some catching up to do before Bryan Bulaga is scheduled to appear. We'll continue in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Well, I've told you for a while about how much I love Pizza Hut since I was a kid, and it's especially great around the holidays. Here's the winning play of the season. Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box is back. 2 medium pizzas, breadsticks, and a dessert starting at just $19.99. Feed your crew before the game, after the game, or while you watch. The Triple Treat Box, only at Pizza Hut. Order now at pizzahut.com and on the Pizza Hut app. Pizza Hut, feed good times, and remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. For the first time since October, the Milwaukee Bucks have won back-to-back games. After a win Saturday night over the Chicago Bulls, the Bucks defeat the Charlotte Hornets on the road 123-113 last night. The Bucks now 14-19 on the season. They return home to Fiserv Forum, closing out 2025 on New Year's Eve, hosting the Washington Wizards. Tip time at 7 o'clock. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. College basketball, the Wisconsin women, tough Big Ten test on the road yesterday. 7th-ranked undefeated Maryland defeats Wisconsin 97-59. Men's basketball, Wisconsin hosts Milwaukee tonight at the Kohl Center. Tip time set for 6 o'clock, televised on the Big Ten Network. The Marquette Golden Eagles continue Big East play, hosting Seton Hall also at 6 o'clock tonight. Homer on the call on our sister station, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. And, of course, the Green Bay Packers continuing to get set for their finale with the Minnesota Vikings Sunday at noon on CBS.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch with Gabe Neitzel as our cousin sub of the day begins now. I want to hit on a couple things, and I want to get to Bryan somewhat on time as Bryan Bulaga joins us coming up. First, I just want to emphasize that, and Gabe, I know you're the same way. We spent a lot of time talking about people losing their jobs, and that is part of the deal. Mm-hmm. These guys make millions upon millions of dollars. They get criticized, all that stuff. That's why they get paid the big bucks. My only caution is, and it's not a reason to keep a guy, right? Well, you could always do worse. No, that's a polluted mindset, as Mike McCarthy would say. I am not in the same place, and it's not because I'm not in that photo. Not because I drank beer with Matt LaFleur. It's not because I like him as a guy. It's because I think he's a good coach. Now, you're entitled to your opinion to say, no, I don't think he is. Or you don't think he's a good big game coach. Or you don't think he's bold enough. Or you think he's too emotional. Or whatever it might be. I think Brian Gutekunst is a good GM. I don't think he's as good as he gets credit for. In part because we all assume that Jordan Love is great, and I think Jordan Love is really good. But I don't know how great he is. I want to see what Jordan Love in year 6 as a starter looks like. Because in year 3, he's quite good. No one thinks he stinks. But we do have this kind of birthright mentality of, well, the next guy's just going to be a great player too, because the other two were. I don't know if that's true. He did the bold thing of getting Micah Parsons. Let's see what he does now that he has 2 guys making quarterback money and how he manages his cap and what his roster looks like. Because I can guarantee you there will be some players that they will not pay that they would pay if they had the funds to do so and the cap space. So I think that we're on the – I don't know what's going to happen this year. I stand by my position that I think they go down to Chicago and beat the Bears, then they lose in the divisional round. I'm certainly open to being wrong on that. But I think we stand on a pretty interesting precipice. Jason,
yeah, if they beat the Bears, I think this is a moot point. Because then you were beat up, but you still want a playoff game.
Yes.
Maybe they have another competitive outing the way they did against the Niners when they were in the divisional round 2 years ago. And Goody and LaFleur get their extensions and, they go on to the offseason trying to build this team and improve around the edges. But again, it is... It just the way everything went on Saturday. One of my favorite Homer sayings is, "You can be bad, you can't be embarrassing." Saturday was embarrassing.
It was.
Now, we can probably wipe away whatever happens on Sunday. It seems like, and again, we'll probably get a better idea tomorrow after they practice and LaFleur talks to the media of who they're going to play and not going to play. But no, it's going to be basically a preseason game, so who cares what happens in it? But if you have another embarrassing effort, especially defensively, because that Bears team can run the football, Jason. They can run the football. They can?
Yeah.
And if they decide to run the football, I don't expect them to have 307 yards, but if they get up over 150, get to 170, 180 yards, and you lose that game, then you're okay. So you got embarrassed in a game that meant something because you still could have won the division in Week 17, and then you got to the wild card round and you got embarrassed again. And then it really becomes open for discussion what's going to happen on that following Monday or Tuesday if they happen to put Packers-Bears on Monday night.
Which, by the way, again, also adds to we are constantly, and I am leading the charge, talking about how star-spangled phenomenal Jeff Hafley is. We're going to fire Matt LaFleur because the defense fell apart at the end of the season then? That's our plan. Okay. But then we have to at least reevaluate Jeff Hafley, who I have been as guilty of this as anyone, talking about how great he is. Right now, thanks to how that played out, their numbers look a lot like not Jeff Hafley, but more like Joe Barry.
Don't do
they're
it.
Sitting right now.
I knew it was true, Jason. I just didn't want to hear you say it out loud.
I know you didn't.
Because I
knew you didn't.
If you go back and look at Joe Barry's final season, the numbers are eerily similar to this season.
They are?
It's not.
It's true. We got more to get to. We got Bryan
about
Bulaga to get to. I need to remind you, even though Tausch isn't here, we've got Pella Windows and Doors as well, and we have ensured that our home remains comfortable before each and every brutal post-holiday winter. Yes, Santa Claus may be magical, but his elves aren't quite qualified to build Pella windows. So there's just too many options and too many customizations. Instead of going through the big red guy, take advantage of this Pella deal. 0% interest for 24 months. Certain restrictions do apply. That ends on New Year's Eve, so you got one more day to give Gina Della and the team a call, or just go to PellaWI.com to find out more. More Wilde and Tausch with Gabe Neitzel, our cousin Sub. Coming up next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
This December and January, Metro Kia Madison is celebrating the season with 2 incredible year-end offers. Right now, get the 2025 Kia EV6 with 0% APR for 72 months, $13.89 per thousand finance. Or choose the 2025 Kia Telluride now at 0.9% APR for 60 months, only $17.09 per thousand finance. Hurry in because these offers end January 16th. Find your new Kia today at MetroKiaMadison.com. Metro Kia Madison, movement that inspires.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
At J&K Security Solutions, protecting your home or business is more than just the priority. It's what we do. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. Since 1987, J&K Security Solutions has been committed to providing Madison and Southern Wisconsin with dependable security solutions. Whether it's security, fire, or the latest automation solutions, go to jksecurity.com to see how J&K can help keep your home or business secure. Get protected now at jksecurity.com.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
'Tis the season to be planning your holiday events. Whether it's a party for 10 or 10,000, Celebrations has the sound, video, lighting, special effects, and custom-themed decor to make it the best party ever. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With us on your team, your holiday or New Year's party will be easy to plan and super fun to attend. DJs, casino games, lighting, and photo booths are just the beginning at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Getting ready for Bryan Bulaga. You should also get ready to get a better night's sleep. Get into Steinhoffel's and test rest a Beauty Rest Black mattress for your chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. And right now you'll save up to $700 on adjustable base sets, plus get up to $300 in Steinhoffel's cash. But wait, there's more. You can also get a Queen Beauty Rest Black mattress for just $38 a month with Steinhoffel's 60-month financing. So save big and rest easy on a new Beauty Rest Black from Steinhoffel. Shop in store or online at steinhoffels.com. All right, Gabe, I have one question from the YouTube section of the program that I want to touch on, and then we will move forward and get to Bryan Bulaga. And it is this.
Okay.
Kaz2486. I don't know why maybe he's born on February 4th, 1986. We wouldn't even be talking about all this had the key injuries not occurred, but all of a sudden there's a terrible team. Well, first of all, no one's saying it's a terrible team. They certainly played terrible run defense on Saturday night. But as I responded to him, every time I try to bring up Parsons and Tucker Kraft's injuries, what do I get? Every team has injuries, right? That's what it's reflexive, Pavlovian. But here's what I would argue, and look, I am not a quarterback controversy guy. I'm not at all. But I would argue that if you told me I had to lose one out of the three, Tucker Kraft, Jordan Love, or Micah Parsons, I think there's a chance that I would be willing to say, okay, I guess I have to, if you're going to make me choose one, I guess I have to pick the quarterback. Because I think that the backup is the better alternative than the other backups for those other two guys who I think were irreplaceable. Am I a complete idiot?
I would say Tucker Kraft. Because this offense was still operating at a high level without him, thanks to the return of Christian Watson playing some of the best football.
Good point.
It's not just some of the best. It is the best football that he has played. And I think that the passing offense, well, obviously it would be better with Tucker Kraft in there. The emergence of Christian was helping mitigate that loss. And yes, it was looking different than it would have had Tucker Kraft stayed healthy. But I think that they were on their way to potentially navigating it. And again, the big what if is, what if he comes up with that pass in Denver instead of having, probably the only guy in the league who can make that interception. What if that ends up being a completion? What if it ends up being if Jordan Love puts a yard or two more air underneath it? And I'm not saying it was an inaccurate pass. It was a pass 50 yards downfield.
I understand.
Right? It was a pretty good pass. But if he puts another air underneath it and he hits him in stride and it's a touchdown, they probably win that game. And we do feel a little bit differently. So I think the offense was trending in a pretty good direction, even though they would have undoubtedly been better with Tucker Kraft in there as well. But I think they were finding ways to move on without him.
Jesse, tell us about Coors Light so we can – why does this do this? So we can get to Bryan Bulaga.
I don't know about Jesse. I don't know what you're talking about because it's Mark Tauscher here for the Blue Mountains of cold, refreshing Coors Light. Whether you're tailgating pregame, enjoying your experience during the game, celebrating a big win after the game, or you just need a moment to chill, crack open a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Oh, just like me out here at the when we were on vacation earlier this year. Coors Light, brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's actually made to chill. The mountains on Coors Light's cold activated bottles and cans turn blue when chilled to perfection, which, besides the refreshing taste, is my, Mark Tauscher's, favorite thing about drinking Coors Light. Refreshingly cold and only 102 calories. Coors Light, made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Bryan Bulaga joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Oh, Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 12/31/2025.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over. But on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
The holidays are busy. Meals to make, gifts to wrap, parties to host. When it's finally time to unwind, make it blissful with Carbless. Crisp, refreshing, and full of flavor with every sip. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, only 100 calories, and gluten-free. While it may be frozen outside, it's always flawless with Carbless. No guessing and no compromise. So whether you're celebrating with friends, hosting the crew, or relaxing by the fire, bring bliss to your holiday gatherings. Carbless, full of flavor, guilt-free enjoyment.
If you're still hunting for that perfect holiday gift, trust me, go see Jim at Condon Jewelers. They've got the best gold prices in town so your budget goes further and your gift looks way more impressive under the tree. And hey, holiday shopping can be stressful. If you've picked out the wrong gift, don't worry. Jim and the team at Condon will help you bring it back and find the right one. No pressure, no hassle. Just the kind of help you wish every store offered this time of the year. So make it easy on yourself and make it unforgettable for them. See Jim at Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
He's our famous friend. I miss the old music, at least during this portion of the program. Joining us now, everybody's favorite Florida farmer. America needs farmers, and they need oranges and donkeys. And this show needs Bryan Bulaga. Bryan, I heard something very troubling about you that we need to talk about.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let's hear
Brace
it.
yourself. I heard a rumor. Now, again, consider the source. And the source is Jesse.
Whoa! Hey!
Not the most reliable source, but continue.
What bowl game are the Iowa Hawkeyes in?
The ReliaQuest, I believe.
Okay. And the ReliaQuest Bowl, where's that played?
Raymond James, the old Outback Bowl. I've played in that bowl before.
That's in Tampa, Florida. How far are you from Tampa?
From Raymond James, about an hour and some change with traffic. Going north is bad these days.
Okay. All right. I heard that you weren't going because it's too cold.
Yeah, that's 100% correct.
I heard Chewy was complaining about how it was 51 degrees down there today.
Yeah, it's currently 50 degrees, and the wind is about at 25 to 30 miles an hour. It's no fun. It's no fun to be outside.
Just so, if I just may clarify, you grew up in the greater Chicagoland area.
I did. Correct.
You played your college football at Iowa.
Correct.
You spent the vast majority of your decorated National Football League career with the Green Bay Packers.
Correct.
You played on an offensive line where you basically were shamed if you wore sleeves in bitterly cold weather.
Correct. Also correct. Yes.
My question for you, Bryan Bulaga, is what the hell happened to you, man? What happened?
Well, I mean, it's a listen, tomorrow it's supposed to be even colder than it is today.
Oh, no.
And you know, sitting outside when I could be at home and on the couch watching the game in 4K with maybe a beverage, warm in my house, cheering on the Hawkeyes. That to me just sounds a little bit better. I don't know. You know, I mean, to me, it's just being out in the cold to watch a game. That, you know, it's not like you're in Green Bay. You know, you're not in Iowa watching the game. You're not at Kinnick. You're at Raymond James. It's supposed to be 70 degrees, sunny, maybe a nice breeze off the Gulf. And it's the opposite. Yeah. It's the opposite of that. It's frigid temperatures. New Year's morning, it's supposed to be in the 30s. That's not even including wind chill. So, no, I don't want to go sit outside. I don't want to go
outside.
Yeah, I don't want to sit outside. I'm not even playing golf. I can't even play golf. Okay?
I think we need to have a serious consideration about revoking Bryan Bulaga's Iowa privileges for a substantial amount of time. They're playing a game an hour outside his backyard. That's one of the only chances they're going to be that close to you, because Lord knows they don't even make it to the bowl game that good that often. And you're not even going to go see them 1 hour from your house.
Jesse, you can't. Wisconsin hasn't been close to a bowl the last 2 years. You can't be talking trash like that.
Wow, exactly. I mean, you're talking trash about Iowa, who's been to a bowl game almost every year since I can remember. And Wisconsin can't even get 5 wins. Like, you gotta relax.
Northwestern fans showed out pretty well in Detroit on December 26th for whatever the hell that bowl game was last week.
Indoors.
You can't
indoors.
I'd be wearing shorts to the game tomorrow if I was going to it. If I was you,
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's cold. That's all I'm saying. Like, listen, I prefer the comfort of my home to watch the game when it's this type of temperature out. Like, I just do. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just one of those things these days. And, I'm sorry. You can revoke my Iowa card, but I can't sit here and argue the fact that my blood has thinned out. I will say that for sure. But that doesn't mean I don't support the team and the university. I'm certainly going to watch and enjoy my team, Jesse, playing in a bowl game in January, late January as well. Late January. Those were when the good teams play, Jesse. They play in late January, and they're not losing guys to the portal like another university.
Sounds like you've become a spoiled, rotten Iowa fan is what I'm hearing. That's what this sounds like.
I love what they do year in and year out. I'm a Kirk Ferentz guy. It's you know what you're going to get every year. It's reliable. It's trusty. And, bowling again. Why not?
In all seriousness, and then we'll get to real football, I just want to make sure. We're not revoking your Midwestern boy card. We're not. Jesse has no authority to do that. Are you way softer when it comes to cold weather? Like if you come up to visit your parents or you and Abby come up for something Packers related, whatever it might be, are you just way softer now because of your blood thinning out and what you've become accustomed to down there?
Certainly not used to the frigid temperatures. It's not something that I'm accustomed to these days. I mean, I'll be honest. I woke up this morning, so I had to get my car serviced. So I had to wake up early, get the workout in. I stepped outside and, I did not like what I felt. It was not a good feeling, and the wind was blowing. And your blood thins out. You get accustomed to that sunshine hitting your face, and it's nice and warm. And you just get used to it. And when you step into anything 50 and below, it shocks the system. It is a shock to the system. Then to spend 3.5 hours out in it. And if I'm going to spend 3.5 hours out in the cold, it means I'm going to have to drink cold beer. And that's just like adding on top of the cold. It's just hard to do.
It's compounding coldness there.
Yes, exactly. Right there it is, right there.
So, Blue, when it comes to actual football for the Green Bay Packers, we've spent a little bit of time today talking about Kingsley Enagbare, who called out some teammates, said the effort wasn't good enough on defense in the game, and I think anybody who watched that game would agree after giving up 307 yards rushing. But how do players react to that? When another player steps up and goes, hey, our effort wasn't good enough tonight, how do players inside the locker room react to that?
Well, I think this is one of those cases of it happening directly after a game when that happened. I believe that was the case, right? It happened in the locker room right after the game.
Yes.
I think is what the report says. Mm-hmm. I'm not too sure how many guys are going to be turned on to listen, to be honest. I'm just being dead honest. Especially guys on the defense, they know what just happened out there. They got pushed around, to say the least. And now someone's going to stand up and tell them it wasn't good enough when they probably know it wasn't good enough. I'm not like the message is true. It's not like it's not true, but I'm just not sure how well guys would receive it in the moment. Call-out sessions normally happen today, and things like that normally would happen today as everyone's sitting down and watching this together and going over, or yesterday. Well, today's Monday, so it'd be yesterday, and going over. Or today's Tuesday. Jeez, I'm so messed up. Going
Must
over
be all that cold weather down there that's really throwing you off.
It's frigid 48-degree temperatures. Yeah.
Sorry, it's Tuesday. So that would have happened a couple days ago, like on Sunday when they went over
It happened
the
on
film.
Sunday. Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be when those types of, I guess, speeches, at least from what I remember, would take place, right? I mean, the only few times I've ever had someone stand up in a locker room and give something like that after a game was when we were winning an NFC championship, and that was like Charles Woodson and things like that, right? Like normally the call-outs happen the day after, and that's because you let guys digest things and you let them watch the film and you let them see, and then you go over it. To call out effort right away, you got to wait and see what's on tape to do that. At least in my 2 cents.
All right, so you watched the tape.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another former Chicagoland prep star who then played at Iowa and is now a Packer, Lucas Van Ness, was the one who basically told us, not basically, he did, told us that Kingsley Enagbare had said this and that he agreed with him. And I would also add that no one should be or is questioning the effort level of Kingsley Enagbare or Lucas Van Ness, both of whom played far more snaps than Rashan Gary did. And I don't think that this was intended at only one person, but I find myself wondering if someone who taps out in key moments, who doesn't appear to be running especially fast in a lot of instances, when Evan, not Cohen and not Liam Cohen, but Evan Williams also hints at this having been an issue, not specifying anyone. When Matt LaFleur is given the opportunity to defend Rashan Gary and does not, when a follow-up question is asked, is he sick or is he dealing with an injury? And Matt LaFleur says no. And then there's like a pause where, like, I think we were all expecting him to say something more, and then he realized none of us were asking a follow-up, so then he said more. I find myself wondering if, I'm not saying it's for an audience of one, but here's a guy that makes considerably less than Rashan Gary, appears to play harder than Rashan Gary, played more snaps than Rashan Gary, is going into a free agency year. I find myself wondering if he has, if maybe he was just really pissed off at Rashan Gary. I don't know that. I did not talk to Kingsley Enagbare, and had Lucas Van Ness not mentioned this, none of us would have known about it. So when I put together all that stuff, it just makes me wonder, am I wrong to feel that way?
I don't think you're wrong to feel that way. And honestly, so when you're calling out effort, right? Like, and you call out someone's effort on the field, like that's, like, you can call out bad play and things like that, and guys normally don't take that personally, because if you play bad, you play bad, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty obvious to see on film if you play bad. But to call out effort is very direct, right? Like, that's very specific, and that's normally something that should never be in question. Like, calling out effort should never be in question with NFL players. So clearly there's something that is happening internally with that they feel very strongly about that, right? And that to me is not a telling sign, but kind of an alarming one, honestly, because as there were instances in the game that, yeah, you would think that Rashan normally makes that play, or he at least affects that play, or things like that you would see on tape, and you would expect a guy like him to come out and play a certain way. And there were just instances that, yeah, maybe that wasn't 1,000% like he normally is. Like he's normally reckless abandon, at least from what I remember playing against him as when he was a rookie. So yeah, maybe they are extremely frustrated, and maybe it's directed at one person. If you're going to direct it at one person, that's normally a conversation that you have in that outside linebacker or defensive end room. Sorry, now it's 4 downs. In that DN room. And that normally takes place the day after. And that's when you have a kumbaya with that, because in all my time there, and we had guys that were very vocal, right? And it could have been the highest paid guy, which was Aaron, and normally guys that weren't the highest on the totem pole didn't say much, right? They would at least save their opinions till the next day or in the meeting room where it was with their peers and their position group. Though, like, it normally happened for us in our O-line room. I'll just speak to our O-line room. It would take place in our O-line room, right? If something wasn't good enough, if someone wasn't good enough, or they thought guys were, intentionally weren't giving effort, that got settled in that room. Like, that's where that happened. It never really, and it wouldn't leak out to media. I'll just put it that way. Like, that didn't happen. And guys didn't speak about it either. It's not like I'm saying that we would go then into the our media time and say, hey, we had an issue and we called out everyone for their effort. You just normally kept those things in-house. At least that's the way we would always do it in that room. Now, clearly, I think Matt said that Enagbari gave a speech after the game, right? And I don't know if he gave the details of the speech, but then obviously you learned from Van Ness that it was about effort. So to me, there's clearly a little bit of I don't even know how to put it. There's a little bit of a conflict going on within the defense. And if there's one thing that has been very evident from Hafley's defense, it has not been a lack of effort. We'll just put it that way. Like that, that's one of that defense flies around the field like pretty much the best defenses in the league, right? Everyone's around the ball. There's normally 3 or 4 guys always. Like, effort was never a question. So to hear that word come up is a little bit alarming to me, especially with where we're at in the season right now, right? Like, I mean, we're obviously the division's gone, or the NFC North is gone, going to be the 7th seed, and to be talking about effort right now, that's not a good thing, and it makes me wonder: is it directed at one person? I don't.
So what did you see? Like Matt LaFleur said that they had assignment and alignment mistakes, which A, I can't believe happened in Week 17. B, I can't believe you did it against a guy that is capable of making you pay the way Derrick Henry is capable of doing. So he's a Hall of Fame player, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But when you watched the tape, did you find yourself, I'm not asking you to out anyone specifically, but did you find yourself saying, boy, that effort does not look like what I would expect? Did you have moments of that when you watched the tape?
Yeah, I mean, there were moments that I thought, this does not look like it normally does, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt. And listen, it's always one of those things where if you beat a team down enough in the run game, that's going to be the effort you see, right? Like, that's just the truth of it. When you body blow a defense enough, that is what you're going to see. But at the same time, it was a 3-point game at one point in this thing towards the end of it, and you would think that the effort level would be out of the roof, that, hey, we've played so bad, but we could still get away. Like, we could get out of this thing with a win if we make a couple stops. And, I mean, it was on tape that it just seemed like there wasn't the same energy that you'd seen from this Hafley defense week in and week out, even shorthanded against the Bears when Micah wasn't there. That defense was still all over the place. Guys were making plays. There was tons of effort everywhere all over the field. That was never a question. this game, it just seemed a little bit different. It just seemed like there wasn't that edge that they normally play with. And I don't know what you contribute that to. I don't know what – there's no excuse for it. That's certainly the case. But when everything's on the line, and obviously Chicago loses in San Francisco, and if you win that game, here you are. You're playing in the last week of the season to win this thing. That's a head-scratcher for me. It just doesn't make any sense. And that's something that has to be rectified, because if that's going to be the way it looks this week, and then in week one of the playoffs, I'm not trying to be like the Debbie Downer here of Wilde and Tauscher on the Tuesday edition, but like if that's going to be the way it looks, and this thing's it's going to be a short exit. Like, I'm just being honest. Like in my experience, like if the team plays that way, and like there's been times where, I mean, I don't really remember this as a player, but like if things aren't clicking on one side of the ball or the other, normally what happens when you get into the playoffs is it goes the same exact way, right? Like as the trend has been, and giving up 300 something yards, and most likely your first round opponent's going to be a team that likes to run the ball, and that's going to be Chicago or Philly. The trend will look very similar. And to me, like, that's why they need to figure out this week, how do we rectify whatever issue we saw, whether that's effort, whether, as what Matt said, that's assignment and alignment, which week 17's assignment and alignment, that's like stuff you'd say week 1 or 2. So, like, to me, that's not really especially Halfley. Like, Halfley is, like, that defense is very on point. So to say assignment and alignment, that just kind of doesn't make a ton of sense. And I know Matt's gonna, obviously, he's not throwing anyone under the bus. He's not going to do that publicly, and I get that. But assignment and alignment when Lamar Jackson's not in the game, that's not.
When you knew what they were going to do?
Yeah, that's not going to be. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think that's the case. I think there were clearly some effort issues, and that's what they're getting to the bottom of it this week, because they have to.
All right, Bryan, you were kind enough to do this, even though you weren't scheduled to appear. And then we teased you for being soft in the cold weather.
Wait. So wait. He did you guys a favor, and that's the way you treated our guy Blue to start the show?
Yeah, I mean,
Unbelievable.
don't get it twisted. He deserved it. I mean, we're not. I'm willing to apologize. So, so Bryan, do you want us to let you go, or did you want to come back for a little bit more?
Oh, we could. I mean, listen, we could talk a little bit more, because I think there's plenty to discuss.
Don't feel pressure, Blue. If people are going to treat you like this, right? You can't reward this type of behavior.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be a good sport, and because just to kind of spite Jesse, he comes on here, he attacks me right away.
Would you rather fly to Arizona to see him in the Rate Bowl if it's 65 and sunny, as opposed to seeing him in your backyard at 48 degrees? Like, that's preposterous.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, my brother's in Arizona, so I'd go visit my brother.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so, like,
I'd rather fly across the country than go see him an hour away because it's 48 degrees outside. Oh.
Okay, you're not helping. He already agreed to stay. Stop.
I mean,
quit while we're behind.
It's really unbelievable how I get ridiculed for not going to see a game when I'm going to watch it on TV. Like, I don't understand what the big deal. Gosh dang, Jesse, I know you haven't been to a bowl game in a long time. I get it, but like, just settle down.
You know the last bowl game we were in? The Reliant Quest Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
there's some irony.
Yeah, so I mean, it was probably nice and warm. If I had to take a guess, it was probably nice and warm, and you really enjoyed your Tampa trip. If I had to take a guess.
All right, we're gonna let Bryan go turn on his fireplace, and then we'll have a couple more questions for him before we let him go. He deserves to be treated better, And you deserve to be treated better by your bank. That's why you need to make the switch to Associated Bank. We tell you all the time about their great customer service. On top of all that, you can show your Packers colors, your Badgers colors, or your Brewers colors as well with your checking account. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. More with Bryan Bulaga. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Try Helix Sleep's award-winning mattress now at Steinhoffels, 20% off. Visit steinhoffels.com to learn more. Better sleep starts now. Wisconsin quarterback Billy Edwards planning to enter the transfer portal per ESPN's Pete Thamel. Edwards, one of the several Badger starters expected to move on with the portal opening January 2nd. Understanding college football is in a new spot today, Barry Alvarez hoping one thing remains constant.
Let's get back to playing some football. Let's get back to recruiting guys who want to be there, want to be at Wisconsin, want to play good football. And man, we've taken a left turn someplace. Sometimes I get confused of what's more important.
Add windows and doors to your Christmas list with 0% interest for 24 months. If you're not getting windows from Santa, visit PellaWI.com today.
We shopped at Chalmers because my husband wanted to get me a larger diamond in my engagement ring.
The folks at Chalmers said, well, we could just make it like this and we could do these things. Really just basically decided that there wasn't any place else we wanted to shop.
But not only did they create this new engagement ring for me with this gorgeous center stone, they also rehabbed this other ring, and I am beyond pleased.
Her favorite thing to do now is to walk around and show her hands and have people comment on it.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Celebrate the season of Audi at Audi Madison. Take advantage of 1.99% APR for 72 months when you purchase a 2025 Audi Q5 Quattro. National customer credit is good towards the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but only available until January 5th. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Ho, ho, ho! Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
The Don has spoken.
Everybody has the same issues. Everyone has NIL issues. Everyone has transfer portal issues. It's up to our guys to figure out how to manage it.
The Barry Alvarez Show, Mondays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Continuing with Bryan Bulaga, being bullied by Jesse Nelson. And yet because this is the kind of guy he is, he may not be tough enough for the cold, but he's tough enough to put up with Jesse. Bryan, when you watched the tape, what did you see that really jumped out? Like, somebody's going to have to explain to me what, and Sean Ryan, who has been great with us with the media, got a bunch of votes in the Tom Mulhern Stand-Up Guy Award balloting. He left without speaking to reporters and declined interviews after he snapped a ball off of Malik Willis's face while he was trying to can the play. That was not a good moment. But what stood out, besides our discussion that we had about effort, what else stood out about this game? Because I thought offensively, third time this year they didn't punt and they lost?
Yeah.
What do you make of what you saw, and where do we go from here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what stood out to me, I'm going to have a positive side. I thought, Malik Willis is a pretty good quarterback. To me, that's, what stands out, from the positive side of this thing. I think I continue to be impressed with him, right? I think, he gets put in situations that aren't really great situations when he does have to play, right? And I get when your starter goes down, it's never a good situation, but he gets put in when, hey, we're relying on you to go win us the division and keep us in this race to be a 2 or 3 seed or against the Bears and in Chicago and this and that. And he continues to go in and play well. It's not like he got put in as the starter and they're playing, the worst team in the league. He's playing a team that's actually fighting for their playoff lives in Baltimore, and he does a good job. So, to me, that's what stands out about, the positive side of this thing. And, offensively, obviously the game plans are always going to be a little bit different when it's Jordan and Malik Willis, but I think Matt allowing Malik Willis to throw the football more and kind of be more positive in that area is something that was fun to watch, to be honest with you, because normally when Willis goes in, as we saw last year, and I think a little bit of Chicago too, it was a lot of, ground and pound, and he had options to run, and we actually saw him throw the ball a lot more, which I enjoyed, and you saw that side of his game that I think probably has improved a lot since he's been in Green Bay, coming from Tennessee and kind of that scheme to this one now, and so that was fun to watch. And obviously he's gonna be gone, and he's gonna get paid a lot of money from somebody. I mean, that's gonna be the case. But offensively, there's ups and downs to kind of what I saw, and obviously the offensive line part, I'll get into that. The snap that you mentioned, that's a couple weeks in a row now that I'm not too sure what's going on with that, right? I can't really speak to that and what's happening there. Now, at home, when you hear a can, it's a lot different than what the regular cadence is. I don't think they've changed the cadence from when I was there with Matt and when Aaron was doing it to Jordan. So to hear the can and fire that thing back there, I don't really know what was happening. And if he didn't really want to talk about it afterwards, it means he just made a big mistake and fired that ball back there. And obviously you can't have that. And then obviously it was a bad snap the week prior. So those are just, I don't even know what to call them. They're just errors that shouldn't happen, that happen, and it's unfortunate, right? You hate to see it happen to Sean Ryan because he got moved into a position that he had been playing well in, and then all of a sudden these two things happen, and they're big moments in games and turnovers and things like that you just can't have happen, and it's unfortunate. But I think the offensive line, it's such a up and down thing to me with them at times. There's times that they look really good and they look like everything's clicking along, and then there's just stretches where it just doesn't look right, and you could see breakdowns and protection and things like that, and Willis has to kind of try to get out and move, and Baltimore's got a solid defense, but by no means are they like the best pass rushing team or anything like that in the league. But you just see breakdowns in protection that just shouldn't happen, right? And I only say this because you're going into playoff football, right? Like you're going again now. You're going to be starting to go against some of the best defenses if you make it past round one. Obviously, Chicago's defensive line isn't, I wouldn't say the strongest, but they knocked Jordan Love out of the game and caused him to miss time. And I think Philly's defensive line, which we saw against Buffalo the other night, is starting to find their rhythm, find their pass rush, kind of disrupt the passer as they did to Josh Allen quite a bit the other day. So those things have to be shored up. Right? Like that has to be figured out. And we still come back to the same thing, that the run game, and this has kind of been the start, this has been the issue from the start of the season. The run game just hasn't been as consistent to take that pressure off of them in passing situations, or not make them as reliant on, hey, we got to be more pass blocking than we do run blocking. And to me, that's kind of been the biggest issue with the season as a whole for this group, is that they were so good run blocking last year and it took so much pressure off them, pass blocking, that now they're having to be more reliant on pass blocking, and that's maybe not their strongest suit as of at least right now, right, with the group that they have. And it's something to say, if we throw the ball 20 to 25 times a game, we can be solid. But when you start to get over that and you start to click to the 30 and up number of throwing the football, and you're starting to get into protections where it's third and long, so you're going to be in scat 2 or 2 jet, which are 5 or 6 man protections, and guys are on islands, it creates issues at times. And that's, again, something they have to shore up. And, again, I know I'm saying it in week 17, and it's season's almost over, but if you're going to want to do anything in the postseason, that has to be the thing that you clean up. And I don't know if you can clean it up at this point, right? Like, I'm not sure that's something that can be done, but guys kind of have to watch tape and be really critical of themselves and what's happening. And that, to me, is the biggest thing for this group is how critical can you be of yourself? How many corrections can you make in a time span here and get this thing right the next 2 weeks? And I don't know how many guys are going to play against Minnesota.
Right.
That's the thing.
Knows?
Like, I don't know how many guys are even going to play. And that's the part that worries me the most.
Do you want to see them play? Do
yes.
you think they would benefit from playing?
Yes, I do. I do. And why I say that is, you're now on is this a 3-game skid right now?
Yes.
It's a 3-game skid. And if you play nobody against Minnesota, well, you can't play nobody. You got to play. Guys have to play. The roster's not big enough. Right. But if you don't play certain guys and get certain groups playing well and getting some confidence, and it was kind of the same way last year when they played Chicago in the last week. I was pretty adamant, and I was very they need to play guys. They need to play guys so this thing gets going in the right direction against Philly, and they didn't, and things kind of didn't look good against Philly. I feel the same way right now, that you're playing for something in this final game. This is to get some momentum going, to get some confidence, because you're going on the road. You're going to go on the road again, so you might as well treat this as a little test run. And that's the way I would look at it. And I'm not saying you got to play Jordan Love if you're worried about that, but you got to play your entire offensive line. They need to play the entire game. This is a good defense to go against to get things sorted out. It just that's my opinion. And the defense too. They need to play.
But I guess the problem with the problem with Love is, if he clears protocol, he's actually healthier than your backup right now. So if you don't play Love, Malik, I think, is even more banged up. So then you just go to Clayton Tune.
Yeah, I
don't know if that's good for anybody.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not good for anybody.
Good for Clayton Tune.
No, it's not. It's not good for anybody. I understand that, and it's a tough position to be in. But at the same time, you have to play this week as you're trying to go out and win this thing. Like, this can't just be like, we're just going to rest guys and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But we'll be ready for the playoffs. Yeah.
Because Jordan hasn't played now in a game and a half. Like, I would play Jordan. I feel like you can do enough things to protect him that you should be able to avoid some of these things.
I don't play Jacobs. I'm not playing Jacobs.
Yes.
No chance.
I'm letting Jacobs sit. If Christian Watson's not in good condition, I don't know his health status right now. I know
I don't care what condition he's in. I'm not playing him either. I'm just putting him in a glass case. I'm not even risking it with him. You got plenty of other wide
receivers. Which I'm fine with. Zach Tom.
Yep, Zach Tom.
Zach Tom's been beat up with the back and knee, so he can sit.
So I'm going to say this right now. Yeah, I'm going to say this right because if I'm Zach Tom, I'm trying to play.
Because you need the work. Because you're rusty.
Yes. I'm trying to play. Because you want to get things worked out before you go on a playoff push here. You got to get things worked out. Okay. And maybe if that's you talk to the coaching staff or you talk to Matt or you talk to Butkus or you talk to Steph, whoever it is, I need 2 quarters. I need to get a half in. I need to play ball because and that should be at least my thought and my mindset. At least maybe this is just me and the way I used to operate or the guys that I were always around. Like if you're going to go into this postseason and think we're going to get things accomplished, you got to get some work in. You're on a 3-game skid. Things are not going right. We got to get some positive momentum going before we go on the road against Chicago or Philly. That to me is the most basic thing. And because if you're going to say you do play Philly and you go back to that same atmosphere again, and is it going to look much different than what we saw last year? And that to me is what concerns me.
Yeah, I'll say this. I am a helicopter parent. You know that. I am a worrier by nature. I am team blue the whole way on this. I just think if you'd won 3 in a row and you're worried about losing momentum and you're debating whether to play or not play and run the risk there, that's a different discussion. Losing 3 in a row, I think you need to get your sea legs back. So I'm team blue on this. All right, we kept you way too long. You've got a bowl game to get ready for on television. You've been a very good sport, even when Jesse was giving you a hard time. Blue, we're always smarter because of you. We appreciate you so much. Happy New Year, buddy, and we'll catch up with you later.
All right, guys, I'll see both of you on pregame this week.
Indeed you will.
Sunday.
Can't wait. Sunday. All right, buddy. That is Bryan Bulaga. He's a legend. He puts up with a lot from us, and we appreciate him for it. Jesse, you're going to tell us about Hard Rock Casino Rockford before we get to the 11 o'clock hour at 11:23.
You mean Mark Tauscher is going to tell you about Hard Rock Casino Rockford.
Here we go.
Mark Tauscher here for Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Hey, you know my guy, Jell. He went down there with Barry Alvarez, did a couple of shows down there this football season. Happy birthday to Barry Alvarez today, huh? How about that? Old coach having a birthday today. Maybe he's celebrating by rolling some dice with Jesse down at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. The Hard Rock Casino features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. And if you're hungry, guests like Jesse and Barry Alvarez can enjoy diverse dining options at the Hard Rock Cafe, Council Oak Steaks and Seafood, Bricked Italian Kitchen, the UU Noodle Bar, Street Tacos, and Constant Grind. The Hard Rock Live Entertainment Venue, 23,000 square foot premium concert and event space as well. It features more than 1,000 feet of LED screens to enhance the experience for up to 2,000 guests. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
The 11 o'clock hour, which will last 37 minutes, starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 12/31/2025.
Hey, this is Jonathan Blackwell of Wisconsin Badgers basketball. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. Happy New Year. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus in Mount Horeb, your homegrown auction powerhouse. From government assets to vehicles and equipment, find your next deal at wisconsinsurplus.com. For the first time since October, the Milwaukee Bucks, winners of back-to-back games. After beating the Bulls on Saturday night, the Bucks went down to Charlotte and took care of business against the Hornets last night, 123-113. Milwaukee now 14-19 on the season. The climb back toward 500 continues tomorrow night when the Bucks host the Washington Wizards on New Year's Eve. Tip time set for 7 o'clock. Pregame coverage at 6:30 right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. College basketball, Wisconsin women on the road yesterday lose 97-59 against undefeated 7th-ranked Maryland. Terrapins are really good. Tonight, the men's basketball team back in action at the Kohl Center hosting the Milwaukee Panthers. 6 o'clock tip on the Big Ten Network. Marquette also hosting Seton Hall in Big East play tonight. They also tip at 6 o'clock tonight at Fiserv Forum. Listen to Homer on the call on the Marquette flagship 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and it better happen quickly. Gabe, quick
Run the
question.
2-minute drill for the rest of the hour, I feel.
Gabe will not be on a show today that runs worse clock management than this one. I can tell you that.
And we don't have any timeouts left, so we got to get out of bounds. Which, by the way, that throw to Puka Nacua and what I thought at first was a remarkable catch. That's unfortunate because that was amazing. That was really, really amazing. Unbelievable. So where are you falling on the sit 'em or start 'em policy? Are you with Blue? Where are you at?
I'm with Blue because, again, if you have something that's been ailing you, and Josh Jacobs is the obvious example, right? Like he's been on the, Sterling Sharp, Chad Clifton, Charles Woodson plan of not practice, but then play in the game on recently Saturday, but now finally we get a Sunday game. So that, yes, you want to sit a guy like that. Like if Evan Williams' knee is still bothering him and he was just gutting it out last week, you rest him. If you're dealing with an ailment that could potentially get worse, I think you rest. But for someone like Jordan, like if Jordan clears concussion protocol, I want him out there. I understand that there's a risk to having him out there, but if you have him out there, then you're going to want his offensive line out there protecting him. And they need to find a little bit of rhythm and momentum going into the postseason. And I don't want to do the half-measure stuff. Like, that just left a sour taste in my mouth. So what is that, 21? When they basically had everything wrapped up, they went into Detroit and just kind of went through the motions in that first half. I think they were trying to get Devontae some sort of record. Yeah, like it just, the whole thing just didn't, but we're only going to play him for a half. And that was also different because they had the bye and they had the top seed already locked up. But I feel like, so I was on yesterday, I was on Freddie and Harry. And I love doing Freddie and Harry on Mondays because we get to talk to Herm Edwards. And one of his favorite sayings that I've heard him say a bunch, football players play football.
To win the game.
I understand we want to protect these guys. Yeah. If you're going to play, like football players play football. And we also then talked off of that, like Phillip Rivers got to play 3 more games. Like, if you're a football player, you're going to want to play in this game because you don't know how much longer you're going to get to play. Even if you are somebody that is, young in your career, you should want to play in these games. And even though there's, quote unquote, nothing on the line. But I think there is something on the line for the Packers. Yes, they can't improve their seed, but I feel like they can improve mentally where they are. They can prove to themselves last week, especially on defense. Last week was the aberration. Last week was not who we are in terms of the effort and alignment that we put out there on tape. We can prove that we are a better team, and we feel good about ourselves going into a matchup against Chicago or Philadelphia, whichever one they end up playing.
Let's play some trivia. Jesse, what's the category, and what caller or callers do you want?
Yeah, 2 callers today because we didn't play yesterday. This is our final trivia of 2025. So we're going to look back on the year. Double Wisconsin sports year in review trivia. I'm a sucker for year in review stuff, so I always love this.
Sucker.
So Wisconsin sports year in review, looking for 2 contestants today.
Let's do caller 25 for 2025 and caller 26 for 2026. How you like them apples?
I almost put that on the sheet, so it works for me.
Caller 25 and caller 26 play trivia. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Before we play, I want to remind you that you need to ensure that your home remains comfortable before we reach those brutal post-holiday winter days. Yeah, Santa Claus may be magical, but those elves, they can't make Pella windows. They're not qualified. There's just too many options and customization. So instead of going through the big red guy, as Tausch would call him, take advantage of this Pella deal. Get 0% interest for 24 months. Now, certain restrictions do apply. It ends tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. Visit PellaWI.com to find out more. Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The holidays are full of moments worth saving. Family dinners, cozy nights, holiday parties that last all night. And Carbless makes every one of them better. Crisp, refreshing, and full of flavor. 0 sugars, 0 carbs, and only 100 calories and gluten-free. Carbless is the gift that keeps on giving. A guilt-free cocktail that never compromises on taste, turning every sip into a little celebration. This season, bring bliss to every holiday moment with Carbless. Full of flavor, no compromise.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Donate at nationalparks.org/foundation.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Now, I had the privilege of playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I came into the league drafted by Bill Parcells and Jerry Jones, played 4 years down there, made the playoffs a couple of years, came to New York, won a Super Bowl. God bless the 2011 season, the celebration we had 2012, that offseason was amazing. But that feeling, that offseason, I had that feeling every single day as a Dallas Cowboy, and we didn't win a damn thing.
Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best local sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only. And you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door. Hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Time for trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs. Purchase $30 worth of Cousin Subs gift cards this month and receive a certificate for a 7.5-inch sub. And by Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance. And proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Let's welcome in our contestants. Gabe, I want you to rest your voice. Okay? Not that we don't appreciate your contributions, but rest your voice. Rest up for Harry and Freddie and Homer and Marquette. And I'll handle our two contestants. First, let's welcome in Chad in Fitchburg. Chad, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Doing well, Jason. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And let's welcome in Mike in Franklin. Mike, how are you, buddy?
Good morning. Hi, guys. How you guys doing?
We're awesome. All right, here we go. Jesse loves a year in review, and this is the time to do it. Chad, question one for you, sir. Tausch was adamant that the Wisconsin men's basketball team was good enough to reach the Final Four last March, but a tough draw saw the number 3 seeded Badgers travel to play a de facto road game against number 6 seed BYU in the second round of the NCAA tournament. In which city was that game played? Was it in Boise, Idaho, Denver, Colorado, or Brigham Youngstown, Ohio?
I will go A.
That's a pretty damn hard first question out of the chute. I would have said that too. I don't remember it being in Denver, but it was a de facto home game for the Cougs for sure. Tough start. Mike, here's your chance to get off to a good start. Question one for you. Which of these teams did the Wisconsin football team defeat during the 2025 season? Was it Central Michigan, Middle Tennessee, or Southeast Northwestern?
I'm going to go with Central Tennessee.
That was not one of the options. Mike?
Well, it's the letter B, whatever B was.
Middle Tennessee.
Oh, middle. I said Central. Sorry.
All right. Chad, here's your chance to bounce back. Question two for you. How many games did the Milwaukee Bucks win against the Indiana Pacers in their first-round series in the NBA playoffs? Did the Bucks win 1, 2, or 0?
I will go with 1.
Off the schneid. They did win 1. All right, Mike, here's your question 2. Milwaukee Brewers rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski made his MLB debut in June, throwing 5 no-hit innings against which opponent at American Family Field? Was it against the Pittsburgh Pirates, the St. Louis Cardinals, or the Minnesota Twins?
I'm not sure on that. I'm gonna go with the Pirates.
The St. Louis Cardinals, I didn't know that one either. I remember him throwing 5 shutout innings. Or 5 no-hit innings. That's what I remember. All right, Chad, question 3 for you. Which Green Bay Packers rookie, selected on day 3 of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, was unexpectedly announced by Commissioner Roger Goodell and introduced in front of his new home crowd in Green Bay? Was that player Warren Brinson, Savion Williams, or Baron Sorrell?
Central Tennessee.
Well played. Nicely done.
I'll go with C.
Baron Sorrell is correct. Nicely done. All right, Mike, question 3 for you and a chance to forge a tie in today's dueling year-end questions. Wisconsin women's hockey won the 2025 national championship with a thrilling overtime victory against which conference rival? Did the Badgers beat Notre Dame, Minnesota, or Ohio State to capture the title?
I am unsure, but I'm going to go with C, Ohio State.
I'm glad you did that. I wouldn't have gotten that one either. I would have done very poorly today. Ohio State is correct. All right, so good news. You both got one wrong, but you also both got 2 right. Chad, you got 3 entries into the drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. Thanks.
Thanks, Jason.
And Mike, you got 2 out of 3, so you got 3 of the 4 entries. Well, we appreciate you. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
That is trivia, which may have been executed faster than any point in the history of this program. And Gabe rested his voice.
Not going to lie.
Yeah, I wasn't messing
Very impressed.
Not so impressed by my clock management during the first 2 hours and 21 minutes. Jesse, also impressive. Tausch telling us about Tito's in his Jesse pretending to be Tausch voice.
Mark Tauscher here for Tito's Vodka. You know me. I love 3 things. That's Mark Tauscher. That's me. Football, firing up the grill, and a solid cocktail in hand. And when it's time to kick back, whether I'm tailgating before the game, watching it from the couch, or grilling with friends, Tito's handmade vodka is always my go-to. Made in Austin, Texas, at the first legal distillery in the state, Tito's is 6 times distilled for a clean, smooth finish, and it's a naturally gluten-free. That means it mixes with just about anything, from a spicy Bloody Mary on game day to a classic vodka tonic while flipping burgers. And here's what makes me like Tito's even more. They're not just about great drinks. Tito's gives back in a big way, partnering with nonprofits and doing real good in communities across the country, especially for our 4-legged friends. So next time you're raising a glass, make it with Tito's handmade vodka, distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume. A savor responsibly.
Whoa, Nelly! So next, it's Wildy and Tausch.
This is Wildy and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Start the new year saving money and helping save the planet by making an energy switch to Everlight Solar. Mark Tauscher here, and whether you want some extra spending cash to buy the new jersey of a star player in town, tickets to a big game coming up, or anything else you may be thinking, you can find some extra cash in your pocket when you start saving money with the switch to Everlight Solar. Our family was looking to make the switch to solar for quite some time, but we weren't quite sure where to even start. That's when we met the team over at Everlight Solar. From the very first conversation, they educated us on the benefits of solar while also helping keep the process simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more. Schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
Tennessee faces Illinois in the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl. Then it's USC-TCU in the Valero Alamo Bowl. It's bowl season, and it continues today on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
The holidays bring sparkle and light to the season. The same way Goodman's Jewelers has been bringing the sparkle with our custom pieces since 1933. Generations have relied on our trust, service, and selection. This holiday, shop local. Shop Goodman's Jewelers in the heart of Madison, touching hearts with Goodman's sparkle and light. 220 State Street. Find our extended holiday hours at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 12/31/2025.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over. But on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
You've noticed a change in your teen. They seem distant, and you wonder if it's the usual ups and downs or something deeper, like substance use or mental health struggles. If you're worried, why wait to reach out? Hazelden Betty Ford offers specialized care for teens and young adults, plus support for families. Call 1-855-489-2383 or visit wegotyou.org, because love doesn't wait for a crisis, and change starts when you do. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Wow, what a comeback. I'm like John Elway over here in a 2-minute drill. Even have enough time for an abbreviated Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
So sticking with the year in review theme here for this hour, because
what a theme it is.
For those who do not know, we will not be live tomorrow. We will play our year in review, essentially, Wilde and Tausch, our best of Wilde and Tausch.
So did you put that together?
I did, yes. It's a lot of Whoa Nelly segments.
I don't recall any sort of input being.
It's what I thought was the
for.
best of Wilde and Tausch, which is a lot of segments involving me. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. We can all
best of Wilde and Tausch.
Tough to fit all of those different segments into 3 neat hours.
It is a 9-hour show, and it starts tomorrow at 9 a.m.
And the clock management, even though we aren't there, will still be terrible.
What is the most fun you had relative to Wisconsin sports in 2025? Because while we'll remember some of the disappointments from the year, there were a lot of bright spots and positives, and things to enjoy along the way here this year. Yeah, there were. Gabe, what's the most fun you had relative to Wisconsin sports in 2025?
So you actually kind of asked the question about it in trivia. I was at the Jacob Mizorowski debut, went with a friend of Good Karma Brands, Eric Name, covers the Bucks for The Athletic.
Love that
and his buddy could not use his season tickets that night. So we were behind home plate, like 16 rows up, but like right behind home plate. It was the perfect eye level to see how those pitches from the Miz just moved outlandishly. So I had a ton of fun at that game with my pal Eric Name.
This is why I don't know what you've got to work with here, Jesse. Like, were there signature Packers wins? I mean, I guess they won the opener against the Lions. That was exciting. They traded for Micah Parsons.
The day they acquired Micah Parsons, which was hours before Wisconsin kicked off its college football season on a Thursday night, that was a pretty fun window of about 4 hours, and then Billy Edwards got hurt in the second quarter, and that was that.
He's about to transfer to his 8th school.
The acquisition of Micah Parsons is definitely one of the top
great.
moments.
And he's been fun. He was fun until he got hurt. He was great. I'm going to take the corollary to Mizomania, and that is winning 11 in a row and coming up short on the George Webb burgers, and then Turner Nelson, that once the Dodgers got Ohtani, it was over. And incredibly, he turned out to be right. I'm sure that will be somewhere on the Best Of program that will be airing tomorrow.
It's actually 2023, I think I said that. And
but
I've
the
been
Brewers,
right ever since.
Yeah, but we revisited it after they won and told you were right. The Brewers captured our imagination. Like, I even went out and got a couple of throwback hats.
It's a nice
I love
hat.
the McDonald's coloring on this one, by the way, or San Diego Padres. Well, I don't know, whatever it is. That was fun. It was fun. We talked more baseball than we ever have before on this show. We had we obviously have Passon and Jeff Levering and Rock. I mean, we're so lucky to have smart people to make us look smarter, except Jesse, of course, who's brilliant when it comes to baseball. But, I don't even, other than trading for Micah Parsons, which obviously is a big thing, but it wasn't an on-the-field thing. What else is there? Badger men's basketball had a good year, but then it ends up ending the way it did on the road against Utah, against
BYU,
BYU in Denver.
That was tough.
It all ended poorly. Badger football didn't give us much to enjoy.
No. Rushed the field twice.
To some criticism by some. Yes.
It did happen.
Was the draft in Green Bay fun?
No. It was anticlimactic for me.
But the people I know that went, as fans, had a blast and absolutely loved it. I thought the NFL did a very good job with it. I thought I had a good time with all the different programming we did at the Tundra Trio. Jason, you and Tausch did the Q&A with Matt LaFleur. We did the cook-off with Blue and Tausch. And as Evan Cohen referenced earlier, Tucker Kraft just completely blew the judging of it, declaring it a tie. But I mean, I had a blast the 2 days I was up there at the Trio. I thought that was a very unique event, and I felt like the NFL pulled it off as well as they possibly could have.
I would just say this, and this is why it felt differently to me. I think Wisconsinites saved the NFL's ass. That's what I think.
1,000%.
Because this was billed as, oh my God, it's going to be, there's not going to be hotels for miles around. It's going to be all these fans descending on tiny Green Bay. No, that's not what happened. It was Wisconsinites who like to drink beer outside while walking around a football stadium, saving the event. And from that perspective, it did not disappoint because our people
which is a highlight.
Delivered.
We saved the draft. Our people, we saved the draft. I think that's a highlight.
It was just inconvenient for me. And media starts with me.
Was Mark Murphy's pick announcement of Matthew Golden, was that a top 3 Wisconsin sports moment this year?
No.
The way he built it up, the delivery was so perfect.
I mean, there are 3 better Brewers moments before we even get to
I guess
that.
the Brewers moment of beating the Cubs. That was fun.
I'll say this. You might have a different perspective if Matthew Golden was having a 1,000-yard season. And I still believe in Matthew Golden. I am not in any way, shape, or form writing him off. I think he's going to be a really good football player.
He just stands out too much when you watch him. Like,
Totally
he just
agree.
stands out. The speed, the smoothness, the effortlessness that it seems like when he plucks the ball out of the air. I am expecting big things in 2026 from Matthew Golden.
Exactly. All right, we need to wrap things up. Coming up, I need to remind you, I would like the chance to come along next time we make this road trip to Jones Dairy Farm. They've been family-owned and operated for 7 generations in Fort Atkinson. We have some good friends who live in Fort Atkinson. We learned that Jace Rindle, was it his someone in his family or one of his teammates now is high up in the Jones Dairy Farm
that was
pecking
a fun
order.
development. Yeah.
That was awesome. They've been an awesome partner. Tausch obviously has done those awesome videos. They're best known for their all-natural sausage made from the original family recipe that they would not share with Tausch. It's available in pork, chicken, and turkey. Jones also makes naturally smoked ham and Canadian bacon, dry-aged bacon, brown Schweiger, I've heard great things about that, and fully cooked meatballs. The bacon, life-changing. What makes it so special? It's dry-aged for up to 3 weeks. Intense flavor, worth the wait. Smoked with real cherry wood and hickory hardwood, never liquid smoke. Find Jones products in grocery stores across Wisconsin and check out the website and the product finder there at jonesdairyfarm.com. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. I've told you for a while about how much I've loved Pizza Hut since I was a kid, and it's especially great around the holidays. Now huddle up. The holidays just got a game changer. Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box is back with 2 medium pizzas, breadsticks, and a dessert starting at $19.99. It's an easy way to feed the family and still be ready in time for kickoff. The Triple Treat Box, only at Pizza Hut. Order online at pizzahut.com or in the Pizza Hut app. Pizza Hut, feed good times.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. Wisconsin quarterback Billy Edwards planning to enter the transfer portal per ESPN's Pete Thamel. Edwards, one of the several Badger starters expected to move on, with the portal opening January 2nd. Understanding college football is in a new spot today, Barry Alvarez hoping one thing remains constant.
Let's get back to playing some football. Let's get back to recruiting guys who want to be there, want to be at Wisconsin, want to play good football. And man, we've taken a left turn someplace.
Add windows and doors to your Christmas list with 0% interest for 24 months. If you're not getting windows from Santa, visit PellaWI.com today.
The College Football Playoff Quarterfinals. Let's go! First on New Year's Eve, Miami faces Ohio State. Then on New Year's Day, it's Oregon versus Texas Tech.
Touchdown, Oregon!
Followed by Alabama, Indiana.
Touchdown! The Hoosiers take the lead!
Then Ole Miss faces Georgia. The College Football Playoff Quarterfinals on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you with 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
What's new at Zimbrick Chevrolet? A lot. A free car wash with every service, plus a brand new detail facility to keep your ride looking fresh all year long. Relax with coffee and snacks while you wait, and if you can't, grab one of their numerous service loaners, take the shuttle, or even get a lift on them. Plus, Zimbrick Chevrolet has the largest new Chevrolet inventory in southern Wisconsin, and you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Keep it right here after Wilde and Tausch and join us for the Rich Eisen Show on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we did it. We jammed an entire hour into 36 minutes. Thanks to Evan Cohen for joining us. Thanks to Brian Bulaga for joining us. Most importantly, thanks to our cousin sub of the day, Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Gabe, you're a workhorse running back, man. We're lucky to have you. You know we love you. Thank you for stepping into the breach today. You didn't have to do that, but we appreciate it a lot.
Look forward to hearing more from Wilde and Tausch coming up in 2026. We got a big game. I think I'm hoping we get some people playing and have a lot to talk about when we have all of our shows again on Friday and then Green Bay game day on Sunday.
I will look forward to talking to you and seeing you on Green Bay game day heading into Packers-Vikings. And, of course, thanks to you for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. We'll see you in 2026. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.